I just realized I accidentally did my top 10 for 1924, so my list is going to be a little bit awkward.
So he has the ping pong down by down by the boulevard.
Twiddlywinks for number 2.
My number 1 was Dying in the Great Depression.
Folks, what is up and welcome to Save Data Team's Top 10 Games of 2024. The way this is going to work is all of us, the people on this stream and the people not here, sent in a list of a top 10 or top 5 or top 4 or less, however many new games we played this year, to David. Top 1, who
power move.
Collected all those games, put them into a point bracket system. So if your number 1 game, if you put a game as your number 1 game of the year, it's worth presumably 10 points, I assume, David?
Yeah, I didn't do any funky math this time around.
Okay. If your top 2 games worth 9 points, etc., then added all of our scored games together to make a collective top 10 for 2024. We will also be revealing our personal top 10s at some point. Probably over the course of this, and then you'll get to see our personal top 10s at the end as well. Anything I said wrong about that? I think that's all right.
No. Although maybe I should have put top 10 in quotation marks this year, but yeah, we'll get there in a minute.
Okay.
That's true. I never thought about the possibility of us not being able to make a top 10 because it was too many like joined games, and then the people that don't put a 10 in.
It wasn't the lack of games.
Yeah.
There's so many ties.
Too many games? Oh!
There's some ties. There's some ties. I don't want to spoil too much.
My dream of dreams is that UFO 50 makes it on it all, and that 1000 X Resist makes it to the top 5. That's all I care about.
Here are my hopes and predictions. UFO 50, I think, will make it and deserves to. Star Wars Outlaws deserves to and will not make it.
Yes.
And the game that I picked for Game of the Year wins.
All right, David, start us off. Yeah.
All right, we'll dive in. First up, we got to go from the bottom to the top. So we got number 10.
Sorry, this is the Teams Collective.
This is the Teams Collective. The individuals I have at the end if people want to talk about their list.
Yeah, like we usually do is if a game on your top 10 didn't make it out of the total top 10, which there are obviously plenty, you get to still talk a little bit about it at the end.
Exactly.
Yeah, sounds good.
All right, number 10, we have Helldivers 2.
Oh!
I was wondering if this would make it on here.
Number 10.
Okay.
Helldivers
Who
2.
had this on their list?
I had it on mine. I think you and I might be the only two.
Just me and you.
Yeah, that tracks.
But this game rules. Love Helldivers 2.
This game's great.
We also have at number 10.
Oh shit.
No.
UFO 50.
Hey!
The Legend of Zelda Echoes. Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown. And Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth.
Whoa! It's the top 10?
We got a 5-way tie.
Shocked? Shocked Infinite Wealth landed this low.
Oh, that hurts.
Prince of Persia and Infinite Wealth tied? That's crazy.
Wait.
Only one person had Prince of Persia on their list.
I was going to say, that's
you.
David, was that your game of the year?
No, it was not.
Wow. Fuck. Like a Dragon didn't beat it. Fuck, that's
Like a Dragon, this is spoilers. Like a Dragon did not even make my list.
Wow.
The ending ended me so hard that it got off. It ended itself off the list.
All right, listen, we can talk forever about the ending of that game.
Who had UFO 50 besides me and Zach?
I believe you two were the only two.
I
played 30 of the games and didn't love any of them, so it didn't make mine.
Jesus Christ. That's rough, man.
I mean, I liked some of them. Some of them were fine. This was the game whose concept...
steroids in one.
It was the game's concept that I wanted to like the most, but whose content I did not like the most. And then Vic pulled Echoes of Wisdom up from the Drudges.
Legend of Zelda Oops All Beds is a great game.
It was fun. I had a fun time with it. It just didn't make my top 10.
Should we take some time to give some flowers to these games while we're here? Do we want to?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
For anyone who has them on the list, give your flowers.
Yeah,
I mean, Infinite Wealth is a great fucking game. That RGG Studios is hitting their stride in a way that's like kind of unprecedented.
100%.
I mean, like, even the Pirate Yakuza Goofy Haha game is still gonna probably get like A's, if not higher. Also, it looks like the best pirate combat we've gotten since Black Flag, which, man, this is a dead genre, huh?
Fuck Ubisoft.
I'm fucking for real.
Skull and
God, I
Bones?
literally forgot Skull and Bones again.
Anyway, it wasn't
like
pirate combat. The ship sunk to the shore.
Like a Dragon's great. The shift to JRPG I think was a great choice for this series.
Agreed.
Ichiban's one of the best protagonists in gaming currently.
Genuinely, yes.
Kiryu's also there still.
Somehow.
Kiryu has a much bigger part in Infinite Wealth than maybe
Sure
he should,
does.
but he is
I think that might be the reason that it's lower on this list than a lot of that.
I think
probably
that's
should
entirely
be.
the reason it didn't make my top 10.
100%.
I will say, as far as goofy Yakuza bullshit goes, this one's up there with like 0. Like there's some good stank in this one. The dating app game's great.
For Like a Dragon is I agree with David. The ending is
Real
they made
bad.
some choices I
Like
don't agree with.
really, really bad.
This is the only 60+ hour JRPG that I finished this year.
Yeah.
So
I still have actually not finished it. I will admit to that, and I need to.
Oh damn.
I know everyone said the ending's cheeks, so.
Yeah. To talk about UFO 50, because I'm probably the highest on it. It is a collection of a bunch of retro games that are, the lore is that they are 50 games for effectively a non-real NES type console. And if you dig deeper, which first off is an insane thing
It's
to
so
do,
cool.
to try
I love
and
the
make
concept.
50 individual games.
Yeah.
Most of them genuinely I think are very interesting and cool. Your fun will vary though, that is undeniable. The thing that ties them together and makes this a Zach-ass bullshit game is that there is a meta-narrative behind it. If you are smart enough or you go to YouTube and watch video essays on it, you will find the story behind it where it's literally like, hey, there's a password thing that you can put in eight character passwords into. If you start figuring it out, then it'll be like, oh, for the next password, find the Heart of Darkness under the shadow of the moon. And it's like in one of the 50 games, there is like a heart piece that's under a moonlit background. If you go to that screen and open up the terminal, it's like the next password is this. And you're like, oh my God. Like, and then you get to find out stories about like the people who made the game. There is a weird kind of creepy pasta story going on. It's very cool. This game fucking rips.
Hell yeah.
What was the best
I
game
didn't
of
play
the
the
50s,
other
Zach?
I keep wanting to call it Pacific Drive. It's not Pacific Drive. That's another game.
Was that the
shmup
shmup with the
yes,
car?
the car.
Yeah, that one
I
was
fucking
fun.
played so much of that game.
That was
I
one of the
played
that
so
was one
much
of the
that
ones I
game.
actually liked. That one's good. I like that
I
one.
cherry
I thought you were
that,
gonna
but,
say
like,
Onion Drive first. I was gonna kill you.
No,
Yeah, that one-
fuck
I
Onion
fucking hate
Driver.
that one.
Fuck that game.
That game sucked.
Played that once, turned it right off.
Oh, I went back to it. It's actually pretty okay, but it's rough.
I hate that style of controls. That's on
Fuck
me.
the one that was like, hey, you know how games have traditional where we put jump and which directions go where? Let's have a 2D
game
platformer where that's
rules.
not the case. I hate that.
That game rules.
That
Actually,
game's awesome. Yeah.
I couldn't get far enough. I was just like, I can't reprogram my brain. It won't work. I'm not gonna do
the
it.
game rules. Anybody talk about Prince of Persia or Zelda or the game that came before this that I can't remember?
I can talk about both of these since Vic isn't on the stream right now. I think I might be the only other one that played Echoes of Wisdom here.
I watched Vic play it.
Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown is a 2D platformer slash Metroidvania slash 2D action game. It combines all of those elements into what in my eyes is a near perfect Metroidvania. The combat is so incredibly fluid, it feels like you're playing like a DMC style action game sometimes, with how many different combos you can lead into each other and how in-depth the combat is and how in-depth the powers are and how they all flow into each other. That part rules. The platforming sections feel like you're playing a near Celeste level game when you're doing some of the platforming, which is incredible to have that with the action. Blew my mind that those were both there. And then the Metroidvania pieces of getting the different traversal powers to unlock different areas and different pathways, all of them felt incredibly good. Getting the double jump felt so incredible. and it was a late double jump too, so it was like, oh, they're just not going to give me a double jump, and then they do, and then you're like, yes, everything in the world feels good.
They saved the double jump till really late in the game, which I really respect. I think that's cool as hell.
And early in the game, I was like, man, this game needs a double jump, and then they gave me a bunch of other powers, and I kind of forgot that I didn't have a double jump, and then they hit you with it, and you're like, oh, everything feels good now.
That is like awesome.
Awesome.
Yeah, no.
That's true.
Prince of Persia: The Lost Crown's great. Literally, the only thing that is not great is the narrative's pretty bad, but like everything else is so good that I just don't care. It's kind of a Mario in that like I don't care what the story is because everything else is so clean and good, and like the art style I think also fucks really hard. Oh, and the big thing I forgot to even mention in the Metroidvania section is they did a new thing, which I think most Metroidvanias will copy going forward for the rest of time, which is they let you take a screenshot of an area and pin it to the map so that you can,
that's good.
You can take a screenshot of the area where you're like, I can't access this. I need to figure out a way to do it. You pin it to your map, and you can pin like 30 or something different screenshots, so you can go and come back once you like unlock a power or figure out how to do something.
That's awesome.
Which is just super cool. And Ubisoft, to their credit with this game, they also would. This is a thing that really only the big AAA folks can do, but they even sync your screenshots through crossplay. So like if you play on Steam and then go play on PlayStation later, as long as your account's linked together and everything, the screenshots will carry over too, as well as your save, which is fucking awesome.
Hey, listen, I didn't think in 2025 I'd give claps to Ubisoft, but that's pretty awesome.
I was saying, will the phrase "to Ubisoft's credit" appear anywhere else in this episode?
It depends if Star Wars Outlaws makes it onto the list anywhere.
Yeah, it won't be showing up anymore. Chris, I don't know if anyone else even played that game.
I don't think anyone else played it.
I know, because the only people that don't like it haven't played it.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that later. Just keep going.
And the other one is Legend of Zelda: Echoes of Wisdom, which didn't even make my top 10, but it does do some cool stuff.
It's a cool subversion of the formula.
Yeah, cool subversion of the formula. The way you can basically copy really any monster that you fight the whole game, other than a couple bosses, or most like non-sentient objects on the map too. Like you can copy all of those and reproduce them pretty much whenever you want, which allows for a lot of different ways to solve
interesting take on a puzzle. Yeah, because like I wouldn't say there's really combat in this game. It's just puzzle solving.
There's combat, and when there's combat is when the game doesn't feel good, so you just kind of avoid it. Because really, it's almost like Pokemon. You kind of just summon your monster copies to fight other monsters for the most part.
But there are some scenarios where you got to summon the right dudes in the right spots, and that really feels more like a puzzle you're solving, which is cool.
Yeah, that feels more like a puzzle. And then like the one thing that I really didn't like was that, well, okay, there's two things. There's the Breath of the Wild inventory system for your powers, so you are basically just have a single scrolling menu that by the end of the game is like 100 fucking items long. Pain. And I think they're like, oh, we want to give you a ton of options, but because of how you look through your options, you end up using fewer things than you would if they gave you a good inventory system.
Yes.
I feel like I would have
to be fair, same complaint about Tears of the Kingdom Breath of the Wild people had.
Absolutely. I was one of those people yelling. And then the other one is like, when you do fight, you have to like turn into an echo of Link to fight, which let Zelda kill. That's all I have to say about that. Let Zelda kill.
Give Zelda an AR-15.
Yeah. Let her hit people with the rod instead of turning into Link with a sword. Come on. But even the parts where you fought, like when you turn into Link, it still felt good to play as. It was just like, man, I want to be Zelda. I don't want to be Link. What are you doing? But yeah, the game was fun. I liked it a lot.
One last little curious thing here. Famously, Zelda, the franchise where you don't play as Zelda, this one finally lets you do it. This Prince of Persia game, you don't play as the prince.
Oh,
that's correct. You're not the prince in this one, yeah.
They traded.
You are not the prince. You are one of his royal guard, right?
You're a royal guard, yeah.
Whoa.
That's at the very beginning of the game. That's not like a spoiler or anything. It's at the very beginning.
It was,
by the way,
in,
you're
like,
not the
it was
prince.
in like the announcement material, like when they announced it at TGA, because some people were making fun of them for it.
Yeah. But yeah, it's very good. And then the other one, Helldivers 2, I know me and Chris played a good amount of sometimes together.
It's just fun. It's just a fun video game.
It was pretty high on my list, because, like, Helldivers 2, I think more than any multiplayer, like, shooter, especially, in many years, presented the most amount of fun, just pure fun, because like it was comedic. I laughed so hard every time I played that game.
Oh, it's hilarious.
And it was because of how the game set it up, and like, man, I played a few times with Subpixel, and I have never been killed by so many airstrikes as when I play with Jake. Jesus Christ. He napalmed and blew me up like 5 times a mission.
But it's the perfect game because the entire time you're like moderately annoyed at your friends for blowing you up, but you're never not laughing or going freedom, fuck yeah, as you mow down like 70 bugs.
It's so good. They do Super Troopers better than Super Troopers does. Not Super Troopers.
Starship
Troopers, thank you.
Yeah.
Better than the actual thing that they're parodying does. Like,
as long as you don't look at the creative director's Twitter.
Oh no. Okay. Well, I didn't, so it's fine. And just like the way they also do the kind of like parasocial staying in character on the like official game's Twitter, and like the way they tease content and stuff. Like they were teasing the new faction like for months in the game, where like people just randomly get shot by a laser from that faction literally for months, and everyone's like, what, they've got to be coming, and Super is like, no, you're participating in propaganda, get out of here. This is false.
One of the best communities in gaming.
Yeah,
100%. As somebody participating from the outside who never bought this game, I love the online interaction.
Like the thing that happened pretty early on in the game's life cycle of people, the community chose to save fictional children over getting a new weapon.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's getting a new actual thing you can play in the game versus getting the concept of children,
imaginary children,
so that they can become soldiers,
or unlocking a new weapon, which was this like aerial bombardment thing, and then realizing after they unlocked it and it was happening that the aerial bombardment did not care if you were friend or foe.
Yes.
The game's just incredible. The meta narrative of the game's incredible. I absolutely love Helldivers 2. I spent a bunch of hours on it, and I would spend many more if I had the time.
Can I say one more thing about UFO 50 before we move on? I know we've been going long. That's fair.
No, I'm joking. Say what you want to say.
Basically, the other cool thing about it is because it's 50 games in one pack, and it's supposed to be like over the course of a fake console's lifetime. Towards the end, obviously, the games get more and more advanced. The first game, Barbuda, is like dog shit. People fucking hate it. I love it in retrospect because I've learned the secrets of it. But one of the last games on the console is Cyber Owls, and it is a
Cyber Owls rules.
Cyber Owls rules. Thank you.
You can do steroids in it. It's awesome.
It's a weird mashup of a bunch of different genres. You played 4 different missions as 4 different characters of this like hybrid humanoid owl task force. If you look on the screen, the bottom left,
he's the guy in tank top and jeans.
One of the owl characters' names is Aldous Huxley, which fucking rules. It's such a good
world
game.
joke for the kids at home.
Yep, they love it. It's such a good game. I forgot about that one. When you asked me what was my favorite, I have to rep Cyber Owls.
Cyber Owls rips.
All right, sorry. Moving on.
Got a 9, please. Thank you. I hope there's no more 5-way ties.
I'm
no.
Moving on to number 9.
No. You're kidding me.
Number 9. I had to click, sorry. Number 9.
Yeah!
Whoa!
Infinity
Nicole!
Far too many Nicoles.
Uncountable number of Nicholases.
Unfathomable number of Nikolais.
Anybody play this besides Vic?
Yeah, I'm still
Pridge
playing
did.
it.
Pridge loved it. Yeah.
Hey,
I'm
hey.
Pridge, tell us a little bit about this because
It's
Yeah,
not on
please, pop
it's
off.
not on my list because no gacha game ever deserves more than a 7 because they encourage gambling and punish you for playing the game too much.
Pridge.
but it's-
Spitting truths.
But for a gacha game, this is one of the prettiest ones I've ever seen, and there is a lot to do to sort of help. So at least there's less, of those arbitrary gacha blocks that inevitably come. But at least there's so much to do. You don't encounter those very often. It's grindy. It's relaxing. It's got pleasant music. It looks pretty. The clothes are fun. Again, put in a few hours, a few days on it just for funsies, and hopefully it gets more content and keeps being fun. I enjoy it.
Hell yeah.
I greatly admire this game for just unabashedly being, we are a pretty dress-up game, get fucked.
Yeah.
And I'm thrilled that it's finding success in that niche because, it's pretty easy to say that, the gaming space does not necessarily cater to young girls as a market. Not that this necessarily only caters to young girls. I think it's got a huge amount of appeal to it.
Sure.
But it is also definitely made with young girls in mind, which I think is a great additional thing to have in the gaming sphere.
We
like
did
that
one
it
off
is-
stream of it, and me and Ty and Vic all loved it. Obviously, Vic kept playing. Ty still had to finish Dragon Age and still is finishing Dragon Age. But I very much imagine as soon as Ty finishes Dragon Age that she will install this game on our PlayStation and keep playing it. Because
And then there'll be even more Nicholases to acquire.
exactly.
I really appreciate that there is a game of this level of quality catered towards a sector of the gaming market that doesn't usually get catered towards, or if they do get catered towards, it's purely gacha games or purely super simple dress up in a thing. But this has so much going on to
Or
it,
Barbie.
or Barbie,
Right.
It has so much going on to it, it feels like such a video game, but for a different group of people, and I love that.
Awesome.
All right,
Let's keep moving.
number 8, we have Unicorn.
Let's go.
I
Also,
figured this would be on here.
also, great joke, David. Great.
Yeah, that's good. That angel lady in the bottom right corner, that's a good design.
There's a lot of great character design.
Yeah,
in
there's
this
a lot
game.
of great character
It's
designs.
vanilla.
This
Vanillaware
game?
does not skimp on.
Yeah,
character
it's
designs.
sure it's vanilla.
Well, they skimp on clothing, but not the character.
I was gonna say, if those character designs are horny, then yes.
Hey, look, at least. Hey, look, that armored angel lady is wearing an appropriate
Yeah,
amount of armor
true.
for a
That's
soldier.
the most clothing I've seen on any character in this game outside of this title screen, apparently.
Yeah,
Wait,
honestly,
you can't put the titties on the title screen. This is a kid's game.
clothing wise, I felt like they were pretty reserved, other than the witches.
Yeah, the any female, the elves and the witches.
I will say,
yeah.
listen, I've
Are
seen that
incredibly-
archer chick. Her
are
skirt is way
incredibly,
too high.
are
Crazy.
incredibly horny, but all the martial. Any girl who's a knighted class actually wears appropriate armor, which I do respect.
Okay.
Pridge,
That's
this is your time to shine on a Unicorn Overlord.
David, was this actually on your list, or is this solely me putting it here?
This is solely you putting it here. It did not make my top 10.
Whoa.
Okay.
I guess that's right, because Jason didn't do a list too. I thought this was going to
Yeah.
be way higher on our list.
I mean, probably would have been his number 1 or 2.
Yeah.
I don't know what other games he played this year.
Exactly.
I mean, hey, Jason moved countries and changed jobs and lifestyles, so that's fair. Listen.
and I bet you he's still playing Fire Emblem.
It's true.
I'm still playing Fire Emblem. All right, yeah. So I'll carry the soapbox for this one.
Please.
Hell yeah.
I love tactics games, and this was an incredibly good tactics game. It's one of those ones where, because when you actually start a battle, it auto battles, you feel like there's the risk of it getting boring because of that, but it never does, because there are so many little pieces to customize. You have what units you want in your squad, you have where they stand in your squad, you have their skill priority order, you have active versus passive skills, you have items that can increase stats or grant unique skills, You have whatever leader effect they have. Certain leaders cause them to move at different speeds. There's valor skills. There's so many different things to tweak that even though it auto battles, it never feels like you're playing passively. You're always making slight, tiny little adjustments to capitalize. And I think it has a really good difficulty curve that sort of like rewards that more and more. And hard mode is a really good challenge that really forces you to like, I would have to switch around units every single encounter, just like constantly, so I wouldn't be getting completely wiped. So again, just really, really smart tactics game. Really, really well designed. Ton of content. Can keep you engaged for, I mean, I put like 186 hours on it over 2 playthroughs on 2 different difficulties. And that was all within, and that was all within like the first 3 months of the game coming out. I was absolutely addicted to this, and that's why it ended up being my number 1. It's got a solid story.
Shit.
It's got a solid story, bolstered by some honestly pretty solid world building. 5 continents all feel like unique places. Different, you get little bits of different culture with different individuals and teammates you meet and all that stuff. The weakest thing is probably your main character is incredibly generic.
Classic.
Yeah, he is.
He is very much pro-tag-kun.
In a tactics game? No.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
He is very pro-tag-kun and doesn't do anything to elevate or change the story. But I was able to marry a fox girl, so
I was gonna ask. I figured you married her.
I married the fox girl the first time, and then the dark elf, the one who constantly hits on you the second time.
Yeah, they
There's
a canon choice, and it's the dark elf.
She is so desperate to get in your character's pants. It's incredible.
She's the Tharja of this game.
He knows what she wants.
Yeah, that's awesome.
She is not subtle about it either.
While we're soapboxing about Overlord, because like this is actually probably a lot of people that might actually play it are in our audience space. So when you say it's passive, like you're not making any decisions outside of setting up your board at the beginning of the combat?
No, I mean you're constantly changing within the map, but once your squad of units hits their squad of units and you click fight, then it just rolls down their priority list.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
You're setting up like a supreme tactics to beat another group, essentially.
Yeah, but again, even when you first collide, you can still switch stuff up before you actually click fight. It's just that once you click fight, you only can watch your characters roll their priority list.
That's cool. I like that quite a bit compared to like the Fire Emblem format.
The priority system is like has a ton of depth to it too. Like you can have abilities that only fire off of very specific circumstances.
Oh,
that's
cool.
Honestly, only use this when I have 50% or lower health and there's 3 or more enemies left, like shit like that.
Oh wow, that's cool. It's like the Gambits thing in FF12, but better.
Chris, that is exactly what it is. Someone took the Gambit system and turned it into a fully fleshed out tactics game.
I
hot.
really want to play this game, but then Pridge or Jason, one of you two, revealed that it was like over 60 hours, and I was like, I don't want to play that much.
I beat it in about 50.
Is it on Switch? It's on Switch, right?
Oh, it's on Switch.
Yeah,
it's only on Switch, and it's not on Steam, which is fucking bullshit.
It's on Switch and PlayStation.
I mean, I'm way more likely to play 60 hours on the Switch than my computer.
I know, but I have a Steam Deck, and that's why I want to play it on. Raffo in the chat says, now I'm interested. Hey, we do have a full, first 3 hours of the game Let's Play on our channel.
See if Nintendo still lets you download the demo.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
Also that, yeah.
Too.
If the demo's still up there, I highly recommend at least trying out the demo, because it lets you do, and it's the original demo was you could play for 5 hours, and then you just stop no matter how far you got. So it was a really good chance to get it was a really good chance to get a solid taste of the game.
It's a good taste because when I saw the combat system, I was like, I don't know if I'm gonna like this chief, and then I played it and I was like, oh, you know what, I do actually like this. This clicks for me.
Oh yeah,
it's fun. I disagree with Pridge on a bunch of points, but I don't need to harp on those. Well, its flowers.
Pridge, this was your number 1 though for the year.
Yeah. Yes, it was.
Wow.
Again,
that's huge praise.
Yeah, I played it again. I beat it. Immediately want to try it on a higher difficulty. Immediately played it again.
You did play it for 160 hours, so sure.
What was that, David?
Which difficulty did you start at, Bridge?
How many are there to start?
There's like 4. There's super easy, normal, the one that's like, hey, you've played strategy games before, and then there's like hard.
Okay, I started second hardest, then did the hardest, but you unlock an even harder one once you beat the game.
Yep.
So I technically played difficulties third and second hardest.
Okay. Yeah, we played the same one. Okay. Cool. All right.
Hell yeah.
Number 7. We have.
Let's go! Mouthwashing! Fuck yeah, I'm so glad it's on here!
And.
Wait. Oh, okay.
Crow Country.
Let's go!
Wish it was higher, but I'll take it.
Great horror games of 2024! Yes!
Grabbing that 7 spot.
Wait. So I know me and Chris had Crow Country. I'm assuming we're the only two, right?
Correct. Yes.
What about mouthwashing?
I assume me and you as well.
I believe you're the only two with mouthwashing. It barely didn't make my list.
Okay. Chris, why don't you talk about Crow Country, because I think you liked it more than I did, and I will talk about mouthwashing.
Crow Country should be higher. This game fucking slaps. This is like a perfect game for me. First of all, the aesthetics are incredible, but like also like it's a pretty bite-sized game that tells a nice cohesive story. You go in, you do the whole thing. There's a little bit of extra stuff if you want to, but it's not gonna like blow this game average out to like even if you do every piece of content, you're looking at like 8 hours in this fucking game.
Max. It's real small. It's real small.
And like that's I've don't account like for a similar reason. It's like a game where it's like you go in, you sit down for 1, maybe 2 sittings, and then you're done. And your experience is over, and it was great. I think this game is really cool. It's got a great method of storytelling. Even though I think the story falls apart right at the end, but that's fine.
That's honestly, that's kind of the story of video games in 2024. I felt like that was super common.
Yeah.
I mean, video games in general. It's hard to write a good ending.
I would say the ending isn't necessarily the problem. The problem is that I figured it out too fast. But yeah, Crow Country is super good. There's a bunch of like really nice little details to it. There are periods where you're playing it where you genuinely forget that this is a modern video game and not a game for the PlayStation 1-ish area, early PS2. And then you just like something that you would think, oh, they would be able to do that because of the time or the engine. You're like, oh yeah, right, this is a modern game, so I can just do that. Thank fucking Christ. Super cool, like aesthetic. Music's fucking great soundtrack in this game. If you want like some genuine good spooky time, this is good. I jumped in my seat multiple times. I streamed the whole thing. It made me want to play more horror games in 2024.
Literally, if you like Resident Evil at all, play this fucking game. Especially old Resident Evil. This literally scratches that itch better than
Parasite
any game.
Eve, Dino Crisis.
Yes, yeah. Any of that early survival horror shit, like this is that to a T, and it's made by modern devs, and they took everything into account. It's so good. I love it. and it's a horror game set in a theme park. Everybody loves that. That's awesome.
Iskaberto also points out, yes, there is a mode that just removes all enemies. So it's just a spooky ass walking sim. And like spooky ass. I actually think playing this without enemies might make it scarier.
I would hate walking through these locales with no enemies. That would make it really terrifying.
A big shout out and simultaneously a big fuck you to that big box, by the way. Fuck that big box. That thing sucks.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I 100% when I first walked in the room, I walked in and went, nope, and walked right back out.
Yeah. I literally anytime I was on that map, I was like touching the edge of the walls, walking around that giant box.
And one time you come into that room, you're like, oh no.
To talk about mouthwashing, hey, this is a year that had in my opinion, two incredible sci-fi stories, and one of them was mouthwashing. It's a horror game. it's hard to talk about mouthwashing without doing spoilers.
Yeah.
But
It's so short.
effectively,
It's hard to.
yeah. Also, it's like 2, maybe 2.5 hours.
Yeah.
If you're interested, play it. Or if you don't even want to spend money, well, one, you should, because the developers deserve it. But 2, me and Wes did a Let's Play on the channel. It's up
Which
there. Go check it
I
out.
watched the entirety of, and I had a great experience.
Yeah,
I
it's
plan
so
on, I
good.
plan on watching it at some point. I just want to wait till I can actually pay attention to it.
Yeah.
I watched
yeah.
it after I played the game just to see like how you.
I watched like
reacted to
25
it.
minutes of it at work. Pause and went, I gotta be home for this. I gotta sit the fuck down and like
Yeah.
eat dinner and just watch this.
The effective TLDR is you are on a intercontinental, intergalactic transport
Freighter,
ship that crash lands because of complications. Wink. And you find out that like, oh hey, we need to bust into the inner workings of the ship to get to the cargo. Maybe there's some food in there that can help us survive longer. Nope, it's all mouthwash, which you can't eat to help you live longer. And then it's a crew of roughly 5 people that slowly fall apart inside. There's a lot more to it, but God, it's so good.
It's really good.
And it does have like
the elevator pitch for this game is a horror game set in on a maroon spaceship where all you can do is drink mouthwash and slowly go insane.
yeah. It
Talk
also has
about
a
a
low-
typical Friday night, am I right?
Just me and the boys.
similar to Crow Country. It has a low poly aesthetic. It is like
Yeah.
PlayStation 1 era graphics, and with a modern flair because they look way nicer.
Yeah,
But like, God, the writing in this game is so good.
It's really good. Yeah.
It's phenomenal. Please check out this game.
This game
honestly,
fucking oozes style.
yeah, and shout out to the devs. Like, this game has succeeded very, very well. There's a huge fandom for this game. I will say, a lot of this fandom sucks.
Yeah, a lot of problematic people in the fan base of the game.
Yeah,
Which is
I regret
incredibly ironic considering the content of
the
game.
content.
Which
yeah.
is what I did want to say before we say anything else. Hey, this game is a gigantic walking, talking trigger warning.
Yes.
Yeah.
So there are lists online. There's stuff on the Steam page that can help you understand what you are going to want to
And
brace
some
yourself
of them
for going
are
into this
things
thing.
you would not expect in the
Yeah.
in the context
100%,
of the
100%.
game. Even as someone who's not bothered by that stuff, there were some things that came up where I was like, oh.
Yeah. This game rules, though. You should play it.
Like Crow Country is pretty straight up all spooky horror. There's like a little bit of like gross stuff, but for the most part, it's mostly just like spooky and thing. This game runs the fucking gamut.
Yeah,
This has
it's
got
all
like
over the
soul
place.
horror, fucked up shit, gross stuff,
Yeah.
and stuff that's way more serious and real than you'd expect to be in this video
and,
game.
like, I also I'm not a big jump scare person, and once you get past the intro scene, there's like no jump scares. It was great. So
Yeah. My one recommendation for anyone that's interested in this game, first of all, look up as little as humanly possible before going in, but also
100%.
watch or play it before it gets undertailed, where like the entire internet wants you to fuck up about it, and then you inevitably walk in spoiled like I did to Undertale.
I think it's basically almost there. So if you don't know, please play it soon. The fandom for this game is very loud, which is great. I'm very happy for the devs. But yeah, it's also rough. Like
I saw some I saw a post about some very troubling fan fiction regarding
believe it.
this game, and
I
I went,
believe it.
"Oh
Dang.
no!"
all right.
Let's go to number 6.
Crow Country's so good.
Number 6. The Rise of the Golden Idol.
Let's go.
This game's good, folks. This game's
Yeah.
real good.
This game just didn't make. Wait, no, did this make my list? This might have been 10 on my list, actually.
This
got a big
this
honker.
didn't make my list, and I felt bad about that. But I wanted to show off other indies. So
This didn't make your list.
No, it should have been on my list. I was just being an asshole.
Oh, okay.
It was
this,
10,
yeah,
but
this is actually my number 10.
Yeah.
Oh, hear me. Keep talking. So was this on everyone's list besides Zach's then?
And Vic, I don't think had it on their list.
Oh yeah, Vic hasn't played it yet.
But our 3 lists all had this game. This game rules.
What do you want to say? These guys are making very unique, incredibly brilliant puzzle games that are also interesting like world building and also have some like banger jokes stuck in there for a reason. It's all it's all diegetic storytelling. Is that what it's like in the scene basically? And it's all just like pieced together context and shit like that. And these games are fucking sweet.
These are also some of my favorite games to play and then also watch other people play. Because the different ways that you can arrive to the same conclusion is super cool. Like I played it, I think over the Thanksgiving break, and then I watched Zach and Chris play through most of it. I missed a couple of things here and there, but I watched you two play through it, and they were like a bunch of things that you instantaneously got that like it took me forever to figure out for completely different reasons, and then also vice versa. There were some things that were like instantaneous for me that took you forever to get to, and just these games are great. If you like puzzle games or word games ever in the slightest bit, play both The Case of the Golden Idol and The Rise of the Golden Idol. They're so incredibly good. I hope they keep evolving and building on this thing because they have a great formula here.
If they do one of these a year or like one of these every other year, like they do that forever, and I'd buy every single one of them.
100%.
Yeah, they're so good. So good.
Also, shout out games that are like British but not. Like this game is like clearly set in a fake England and makes fun of the fake English, but is not English and not made by English people. It's awesome.
Shout out to Peel.
Yeah, God, Peel. Fuck yeah.
I love fake sports.
I was like, who's Peel? Oh no, Peel's the sports.
I love a fake sport. Yeah.
Also, shout out to Fenmio who just subbed with Twitch Prime. Thank you so much.
All right, number 5.
Oh baby, top 5. Come on,
Mambo.
We got a tie. Metaphor, Refantasio, and Dragon Age the Veilguard.
Wow. I'm shocked that Metaphor is this high. I understand it's probably only on David and Pridge's list, but
I haven't played enough of it to justifiably put it on my list.
I was surprised Dragon Age was up here because only Chris and Vic came with it on their list.
Yeah, Dragon Age
yeah,
really
but
good.
Vic had it number 1, right?
Yes.
Yeah, well, that's gonna do it for you.
Yeah, that's true. I think this was
if
3
to be
for
fair,
Pridge, 5 for me for Metaphor.
Yes, this was 3 for me.
If Ty could put in a list, this would also be Ty's number 1. Ty literally like 5 days ago was like, oh, I got to the part where it's like if you keep going, this is the end of the game, and she has played probably 15 hours in the last 5 days.
I've heard that part is ridiculously long. Yeah.
Well, no, she's just been like, nope, I'm going to do everything else until I get to that because I love this game.
But David, that segment is also very long,
I have heard that segment's like several hours.
Or maybe not talk about Metaphor first, and I'll talk about Veilguard.
Great.
I think you're higher on it than I am, Pridge. Do you want to talk about it?
I mean, I can if you want me to.
Yeah, I mean, I can pepper in some bits.
Hey guys, Atlas has done it again. Stepping away from low fantasy into the world of high fantasy, I think they nailed it.
I think these guys might be good at making JRPGs. I don't want to say anything too soon, but
I don't know.
Again, obviously, I will gladly go back to Persona's low fantasy setting, but it was really cool getting to see them create a world from scratch. I think the world building in this game was really cool. I think the way all the different races and everything, combat itself is standard Atlas style, but the most important thing they did was switching from personas to archetypes. Which essentially works like a job system, and I really hope it's something they find a way to carry to Persona 6, because I have way more fun getting to customize my allies with different archetypes than having them stuck with one persona and only one set defined role.
100%.
Way more fun getting to play with a job system.
I agree with that. I kind of feel like I like the variety of the personas more, but only having them available on your main character sucks.
Because everyone else in your party gets one defined role, and they can't break away from that. This one, I got to toy around with it and do that mix and match thing that games with job systems let you do. Like,
Yeah.
I want this guy's stats, this guy's stats and base abilities, but I want that guy's offense, that guy's passives, and that guy's defense ability.
Yeah.
So yeah, again, really fun game. Obviously, it's Atlas, so their designs are cool as shit. Monster designs, menu designs, all really, really cool.
Bridge, how do you feel about the fish dudes with legs?
The fish dudes with legs?
Yeah, the enemies. That's just a fish with legs.
Oh,
with human
you mean
legs.
the one that just, you mean the one? Oh, well, I hate those guys because they hyper buff their own evasion
Yeah, me too.
constantly and decrease your accuracy.
They made
so
me
if you
hate
get,
fish in general.
if you get put behind the base,
That's a great out of context quote.
Yeah.
Again, couple things. Before I get to the 1 point, couple negatives are again, like a lot of Atlas games, slow start. Biggest one is they did not try on side dungeons in the slightest.
Bridge, I'll be honest, I don't think they
Yeah.
tried on most dungeons at all.
Damn.
With
I
exceptions, like Dragon Temple, I think the big exception. That
I
one
guess
was good.
there's probably 3 good dungeons in
Yeah.
total, so I actually think you're right.
Game's 80 hours though, so that's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, their side dungeons literally come in cavern, forest, or cave, and they just reskin those 3 designs for every side dungeon, which is
Yeah, but
sadly
is
lazy.
that better than the subway system in P5?
Literally, no, it's worse than the subway.
Oh,
system,
fuck
Whoa,
me.
really?
in my opinion.
I mean,
It's mine.
I mean, P5 has the benefit of having a bunch of good palaces, while this game has
Yes,
like
it does.
2 to 3 good dungeons, and then just this boring side dungeon system.
Mm-hmm.
But then just again, obviously the big problem I've got with this game. This game is, and I would never. This game is so in your face political
Yes.
in a way that would, in so many other cases would suck. But this game is just so upfront about it. I love it. It's
Yeah.
literally just a bunch of dudes discussing how governance, equality, and society should function.
Yeah.
There is literally a character named Roger the Libertarian.
Yeah, there is.
And you can tell him that taxes are good and then punch him in the face in a later fight.
Yeah,
Awesome.
God
This is incredible.
bless fantasy, whatever this country's called.
Uchronia, I think. Yeah.
Like, they don't
Yeah.
even try and hide it. He's literally just called Roger the Libertarian. And he sucks, and it's great.
This game
get
this
to-
game is really good. I
They
played
punch
over 30
so many
hours of it.
fascists. There are so
Yeah.
many fascists punch in this game.
I played over 30 hours of it, and I realized that I was never going to finish it, so I kind of got off of it. But it's the thing where, like, I could see myself restarting it at some point, but I'm starting at the perfect point to pick it back up again. But also, just like, God, that's so intimidating to pick this game back up again.
Yeah.
But everything about it, like you said, Bridge, makes me really excited. It's
I-
very, very fun.
I like it a lot. For me, Bridge, I don't know about for you. Like, I don't feel like it lives up to the highs of the Persona series, but it is still very good.
So highs in like story moments?
No, I mean, like, I just feel like if like Persona, if you put Persona 3, 4, and 5 up, I don't think Metaphor is as good as most of those.
Wow.
For me, it beats 3 and 4. I don't think it beats 5. It beats
As somebody
3
who
and
didn't
4
play
for me.
5, I think it beats 4, hands down. So, but 4 is also fucking crazy old at this point. So take that.
Yeah. No, it's definitely gonna be like the things I don't like about it are super personal. Like, I feel like the characters don't get the love that they do in Persona in general. I don't know if I'm alone on that one, except for Maria and Heisme, which I would sacrifice the world for. But
That's interesting.
but I feel like a lot of the
Heisenberg
other
fucking
characters.
rules too.
I think the main thing coming out of this is that like it showed that Atlas can step out of their Persona box.
Well, and that's what I would say is I don't think they stepped out of the Persona box. with
Well,
this
sorry.
game.
Yes, you're correct. This is just a Persona game of fantasy, but it shows that Persona in other setting, other
it
genre
works, yeah.
works. And like, look, I totally get if you work at a games company, you want to make different shit. That's great and all. If you are the Persona team, I want Persona. and I want games that smell like and taste like Persona. If you're the Rise of the Golden Idol team, I want Rise of the Golden Idol. Like, I'm sorry about it. So like, if you go to give me Space Persona next, then you do another Fantasy Persona, then you do just a Persona that's legally distinct, I'm cool with that.
Listen, I get that people don't come to Save Data Team to watch content that isn't Ace Attorney, but like...
Yeah, but what are you going to do right now? Yes.
That was my joke.
I do have one request for the next game from this group.
Okay.
Please don't make misses so punishing again. I don't have good luck. I can't do this.
If you miss something, it will fuck your entire game up. It sucks.
I would be curious to see the Persona team make a one of their games where the main protagonist can't like switch up. Like they just have a skill tree and they can't like be whatever.
The inverse of Persona, where everyone else has like customization except the MC.
And the main character doesn't. Yeah. Exactly what I want.
Yeah.
Prove me you can do that, you sons of bitches.
Metaphor is so good. It's great. My only regret is that I didn't stick with it longer, but hell yeah.
Great
Chris,
game.
give Dragon Age
Another game I played twice.
Jesus
goddamn
Christ,
Bridge.
Second playthrough is so fast though. It's
That's
like it's literally 30 hours at most. Second playthrough.
As much as Zach played in the
30
first
hours. That's 30 hours. That's 30 hours.
Dragon Age, we have to protect these beautiful whales, aka the Veilguard. A term I don't like when someone says is if you don't like blank, you are wrong. I think that's a stupid, like, cringy kind of edgelord thing to say. If you don't like Dragon Age the Veilguard, I don't think games are really made for you.
Chris,
David's
games
not
aren't
really
made for me. No.
Yeah, David did not like this game.
I dropped this game.
Like, not saying that like you won't find games that you like anymore. It's just that like I don't think AAA game dev is going to satisfy you for a long time.
That might be true.
Because this is like a pretty perfect by the books fantasy AAA game. It just does everything kind of perfectly right. Like, you have your big epic boss battle moments against big dragons. You get to flip around and use swords or magic or shoot arrows and be cool. You get to fuck the most attractive people ever made in video gaming form. The story is fine. It's a Dragon Age game. I don't think Dragon Age has very good writing. I think I'm in the minority on that, but I don't.
I think for this game, a lot of people would agree with you.
Okay, so that's something I didn't want to talk about is the dialogue. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, the dialogue is so bad, it's so good." No,
It's not
I've
that bad.
played every single BioWare fucking RPG they've ever made. BioWare fucking suck at dialogue. They've never been good at it. So this myth that Dragon Age got bad writing, no, they've always had bad writing. Go to any Mass Effect. Go to KOTOR. It's still bad, I promise you.
I have sat around while Ty has played so much of this game, and the amount of times that I've made fun of the co-characters, your party members going, "Good job, Rook." Like, "Oh, nice shot, Rook. Wow, Rook, you really got him." And I'm like, I joke about it every time she's like, "Stop, like you're making me realize that they say it a lot." I'm like, how do you not realize they say it all the time? All they do are like, "Wow, good job, Rook, you really showed those what the fuck are they called? That begins with a V, the Vesperia?
Veneer.
Veneer.
Venatori.
Yeah,
You really fucked up those Venatoris, Rook." And I'm like, yeah, okay.
No, this game is really fucking good. It is a blast to play. Like, the combat is fucking fun. And they did the impossible where they made mage combat actually interesting and fun. That, you know how hard of a feat that is? The combat styles are really cool and rewarding. They're all very different, which I think is great. I don't know. I think I might be in the minority, but I really like the whole thing of like your decisions, quote unquote, matter in the sense of like if you pick one thing or the other, you can't do the other thing. So you have to do that on the next playthrough. I know a lot of people don't like that because you feel like you're missing content, which I get that argument. But also I think that in this kind of game, that's just how it goes. Why is this game called DragonAge, by the way? Just the name doesn't make any fucking sense anymore.
So it's
they're
still part of the
recognizable IP.
franchise, and people who played the old ones play it more.
Yeah, I
mean, that's literally it. Like that's
yeah, no,
that's
it's crazy. Dragons are barely featured.
They're no longer in the
bit that
Dragon
I played,
Age.
there's some dragon.
I mean, there's dragon bosses, sure.
But they're no longer in the Dragon Age, I believe.
Yes.
Dragon Age
I
is a
believe
timeline.
True.
Yeah.
The drawbacks of this game. Oh, by the way, great armor and like customization settings all the way through.
Yes.
Really good. Everyone, of course, says the character creation's amazing. And except unless you're a fucking conservative and then you hate that it lets people have diversity. How dare you let them have
Top
surgical scars, you
Yeah,
fuckers?
yeah.
Ridiculous. Also, horniest cast of characters ever. Jesus Christ, everyone's trying to fuck. Shout out to Manfred. He's the fucking goat.
Manfred is the goat.
Yeah, hell yeah.
The only other negative I have about this game is that really bad enemy variety. Like simply terrible enemy variety.
Yes.
Kind of inexcusable. And like that's the thing that if anything was to knock this game, it's that the enemy variety.
I think that's why I stopped playing, because I got bored. Not because it was necessarily bad. I got
the
bored.
most annoying thing is that they actually do have a decent number of enemies, like different unique ones, but they just don't use a lot of them multiple times. And I'm like, it's just fucking, you did the work already. Put them in again.
Also, shout out to this game for if you make a warrior, you can punch people with a shield and basically be Junver. I made Junver when I played this game.
Oh, the like very similar to when you see like gifs of Black Desert Online and people are just doing the craziest fucking shit. Like there are some fucking like you can throw a shield at motherfucker like Captain America and then drop kick them. It's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's pretty fucking rad. I like doing that.
So I just want to say right now I'm flabbergasted. Vic revealed that
Vic romanced Emmerich, the Lich Man, the Queen of England.
He's literally just gay Doctor Strange, but also a necromancer.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
I just assumed that Vic would have gone for Tosh or Nev, but
I was also surprised at Vic's choice. To be fair.
Okay.
But I'm also surprised at Vic's choice of me. So you know, here we are.
That's right.
Also, while we're shitting on it, I forget his name, but the man with the griffin, I hate him.
Oh yeah.
So annoying.
Ty is like, Ty has come to me with like, you know, there's not that many like traditional masculine guys for me to like, but I fucking hate the Grey Warden guy who is the guy you're describing.
Yes.
So
Yes.
yeah.
Davrin. Yes,
Thank you,
Davrin.
Yeah.
I like Nev. Her hat is the stupidest thing in the world. I can't
It's
think
so
how
stupid.
dumb her hat
It's
is.
so stupid.
All right, move on. Number 4.
Hi, Raz. What's up, buddy? All right, number 4. 1,000.
Let's go!
Wow. What if we stream this and I play it?
You should.
That's what I want.
The biggest thing is I don't think it's a good stream game.
It's
Oh,
not.
okay.
It's
Well,
really
maybe
not.
I'll streaming our way it.
It's entirely.
It's a game you
It's
really have to play at your
entirely
own pace.
narrative. You need to be paying
Yeah, and
attention.
it's a game you should play at your own pace, not at a pace to help an
to
audience.
Yeah,
Okay,
let me hit you with this. I would like to do a one-off stream to see how well it does for us, and then if it doesn't do well enough, absolutely go stream the rest of it because I love this game.
Talk about the game, yeah.
I think this is easily one of the best storytelling games I've played in at least 5 years. It is a sci-fi tale. I mean, obviously, Pridge and David also put it high, so I don't want to be the only person talking about this. But like, the TLDR
It's
is
not super high on
hey,
mine. That's only because I didn't finish it though. But it's still on my list
Gotcha.
without finishing
Oh,
it, which I
really?
think speaks to how good it is.
oh my god. The TLDR is hey, unlike our world, there's a pandemic that comes along and kills a bunch of people, but also there's aliens. You don't find much about that until later. No, they tell you pretty early. But basically, one high school girl is immune to the virus, and so she's being protected by the government. And then, spoiler alert, again, you'll find this out pretty quickly. Society basically dies out except for clones of her, and you are playing as a clone of her.
Yeah, it's like the opening of the video game. That's not really.
Yeah,
a
no.
spoiler.
And it's so good. It deals so much with like because also again, she's like a high school girl. She's kind of an asshole. She's very much an asshole. The game makes a point of saying that. And it like very quickly is like, oh, you shouldn't like the All Mother. Also, she goes by the All Mother because she's the mother of everybody at this point in time. Hecky Grace.
Hecky Almo, sister.
Hecky Almo.
Hecky Almo, thank you. They're so the world building of this game is genuinely so incredible. I really, 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 and like you don't realize like what this title screen really means until like a good bit through the game. Or at least I didn't.
It took a long way for me to understand what this title screen is. Yeah.
It fucking rules.
Does the name make sense at some point?
No,
really.
Okay, great. Fuck me.
I feel
My
like
one complaint. It's a terrible name.
I feel like it makes sense, and I'm not even done with it yet.
Like I could make a thing for it to make sense, but they never explicitly say 1,000 in this game.
Yeah, they never say like 1,000, but like the resistance stuff is different.
They never look at the camera and go, "Man, we really are the 1,000 exorcists."
Yeah.
Exactly.
When the credits are all.
I feel like this game, and I'm also going to use the term game very loosely for this video game. I would honestly compare this to like a third-person walking sim more than most other
You're not wrong.
games.
I've heard that.
I mean, it's a walking
And,
sim.
and I don't
yeah.
mean that in a bad way. Like
No, it's a walking sim.
the clear focus of this game is narrative, and hey, it absolutely does narrative incredibly well. It touches on so many different types of stories, both experiences I'm familiar with and not familiar with, that I feel like I understand
100%.
more now. Like the very first chapter of the game focuses a lot on being a first generation immigrant in Canada, I think.
Yes,
but
they're
similar experiences.
The main character's family is from Hong Kong.
Yeah, and then like
they escaped Hong
their
Kong
friend
during the
with
protests.
like a
Yeah.
not even first generation, but like zero gen or whatever, like someone
It's
who just emigrated
the
over.
off the boat, whatever
Yeah.
the phrase is. Yeah.
Fob, fresh off the boat, yeah.
Yes.
And it tackles two things that like that story in a way that I'm not that familiar with. I'm fucking a white dude who grew up in Ohio. I'm not that familiar with that story, but like it tackles that story in a way that like it made it
You instantly
so
care
easy.
about it.
Yeah, you care about it. You understand that struggle, and like, no, you might not be able to completely internalize it because you didn't experience it. But like, I don't know, it made me understand a lot of my friends who are children of immigrants and stuff like that in better ways. And it deals with a ton of other stories. I only want to say the first one because that's the first chapter, but like it deals with a ton of other topics too, and like really impressive ways for a small indie team that's not. It's like their first video game too.
Insane.
This game's just
insane
super
first
cool.
swing.
The way they deal with, the way they make a game within the limitations of what they are currently capable of was really cool. And yeah, I'm not even done yet. I'm like 8.5 hours in. I think it's like a 10-hour game, so I still got.
What chapter are you on?
I think 8.
You're not that far from being done.
Yeah, it's like it's literally only like a 10 to 12 hour game. It's very digestible. I've already said I think it's one of the best stories I've seen in recent years. My only gripe with it is the fact that I think this is such an ambitious first step, and not to fault the developers on that. I think they did a great job. But I also do think I wrote to both Pridge and David on separate occasions while I knew they were farther than me. I was like, damn, I wish that they had a bit more of a budget behind this game, because I think sometimes it really shows how
It does, yeah.
not complete, but like not
Polished.
as tight as not as polished, as it could have been from a graphics and voice acting perspective. Some of the voice acting in this game is literally fucking incredible,
and some of it's really bad.
And some of it will be from the same voice actor, and you're like, what the fuck? But God, what a good story. Sorry, Pridge. I think we both talked over you. If you have
This is a
anything else to say
game,
about it.
just to finish your point there, Zach. This is a game where I hope this studio is massively successful, and in 10 years they come back and remake this with.
Well, I saw that this game like skyrocketed in sales once everyone was giving all its flowers.
January 2nd was their highest sale day over their launch.
Fuck
day.
yes.
From people talking about the game like we're trying to do today, because
the fact that this game got featured in Balatro's DLC is so exciting for me. This game deserves the praise that it's getting. I hope that they do incredibly well.
This is the best story. Best is the right word. This is the most interesting story on generational trauma I have ever read, watched, played.
That was the one I was more familiar with.
As soon as you said generational trauma, Bridge, I got chills up my arms again. Just
the
thinking
way
about
this
the
game
concepts.
tackles that as a concept and an overarching theme is it's masterful work that can only come from people who are deeply affected and deeply care about it as a concept, and could only be written by people like this.
Yeah.
Really, really brilliant in that regard. That's honestly the one thing I want to add that you guys haven't already talked about.
Yep. Thank you. Yeah.
And it has plenty other to say about a lot of other things, but I think that's the message that I think was just unbelievably skillfully written.
And just so many memorable scenes too. Like I'll be shocked if this does not have a movie or TV adaptation in a few years. Like I will be absolutely shocked.
Oh my god, to see this have a fucking adaptation would be so exciting for me.
It's like
Holy shit.
Lie, Sex, and Robots people on it.
Oh, I mean,
think, honestly, with what this game is, I feel like it would actually do well with a live action one too.
Yeah.
Look, if Gnasia can get an anime, then anything can get an adaptation.
If
I love that game, but I have no idea how it's getting an adaptation.
If you can get some absolute, in a positive way, freak of nature actor to play this
every role.
Effectively every role. There's some people that are not clones of this character, but like, good lord.
That'd be so
oh my god. Give this like an HBO Max 10 episode season. I'd be more seated than I would be for The Last of Us, and that is saying a lot.
I haven't played this game yet. I will. The only thing I can say about it is that Ian Gibson played this game and had zero complaints and nothing but praise for it, which is a thing I have never heard him say about anything ever. So if that's not a cosign, I don't know what is.
That actually is very surprising to me.
It means you shouldn't play this
Bridge. I was flabbergasted.
He likes this game more than his wife.
Culture.
No,
you know what to do.
Please don't. No,
it was a joke. It's fine.
Okay, so we have 3, 2, and 1. I'm certain what 2 and 1 are.
Yeah.
What the fuck is 3?
Actually, there's a chance that 3 is Balatro, Chris.
David, hit that button.
We can find out right now. Number 3. Final Fantasy 7 Rebirth.
Okay.
Knew it.
Oh, I forgot about this video game.
Okay, yeah, here it is.
So this is your game of the year, David?
It sure fucking is. To be fair, it was close. Like, this was not a, easy, this is my game of the year, absolutely.
This was my number 4.
Okay.
Yeah, hey, this game fucks. It is a flawed video game in every way, shape, and form, but it also fucks real hard. I love Final Fantasy to go into making the remaking the original, adding some fuckiness, and then being in the middle game of a trilogy, and knowing that the whole time I thought this game handled that situation probably as well as it could. Because hey, you're in the middle of a trilogy. You don't have an ending, and you don't really have a beginning either, so good luck to you. And they handled it really well. The only complaint I had about this game was really how much the open world at times was tedious rather than fun. But the combat in this game continued to evolve, remakes combat, which I think is some of the best action combat that exists in video games, not just RPGs. Their combat's great. They continued to improve on it in Rebirth. They added all the synergy skills and expounded on them, and they absolutely you can make whatever squad you want and have excellent synergy between your teammates. You can control any of the characters, which is wild for a JRPG of this level.
That's true, honestly.
You can play as Cloud, Tifa, Barrett, Red 13, Yuffie, and unfortunately Kate Sith, and they make you play as him. He's the one that I hate, but
That segment might have been what dropped this game down to 4 for me.
Yeah, that's fair. That segment was bad.
That segment's so
They
ass.
make you play as Kate Sitton. It's not an enjoyable segment.
It's the
pure
FF15
unadulterated.
hallway.
It's lucky
pure
that it's a
unadulterated
short
ass.
segment, but it's not good.
Damn.
I love this game. That segment is pure ass.
It is so bad. The way they just committed to adapting all of the silliness that is Final Fantasy VII, because I think a lot of people who really haven't played the original look at it and they see super serious Cloud and Sephiroth, and they're like, oh, this is gonna be a game that's like super serious. The original is silly as fuck, like all the time. There's so much just random bullshit and silliness in it, and they adapt that in like fucking insane ways in this video game. The gold saucer is an incredible, like, just visual bonanza. In like, getting there is a separate one. Entering once you're there is a whole separate one where there's a dance number and music, and Dio, I think that's his name. Is that right, Pridge? The big muscle dude? Yeah. Dio is like even more of a character than he was in the original. And then just all of the different sections of the gold saucer are like insane, and then the final like theater section with Aerith like singing, which is not in the original games. That's all new stuff. It's one of those ones where I feel if you haven't played Final Fantasy VII, you will probably still enjoy this game. The open world will be tedious, and you won't like love it. But if you have played the original, like, this game like means so much more. And yeah, I love so many aspects. Queen's Blood I didn't even talk about yet. Queen's Blood, I hate card games, and listen, Queen's Blood
pretty
fucks.
fun.
Yeah.
I will be shocked if there is not a standalone version of Queen's Blood in the next couple of years. Like,
Hey, you know, it was a better card game. Game number 2 of this year.
But we can talk about
Not
that.
there yet.
we can
Not
talk about
there yet.
Zach, we're not talking about Sabak in Star Wars Outlaws yet.
but Queen's Blood is like insane and has its own equally insane and silly side quests. Like, just the tonal dissonance between like the main plot of Final Fantasy VII and all of the side
Shout out
quests.
shout out to the main character who ends up being crucial in the Queen's Blood side quest at the very end out of nowhere. It got me.
It's like in FF8 where you can play fucking cards against I forget what her name is, but like one of the main baddies the whole game.
Oh yeah, the mage
Triple
lady.
triad her ass. Yeah.
And like the way they adapt the silliest little bits of 7 are great. Like, there was a scene where you're on a boat leaving Junon in the original, and there Red 13, who's like a dog cat thing, lion probably more than cat,
Lion, I think.
whatever.
Yeah, I don't really
big
know.
old red dude.
He's a dog. He's a dog lion.
He's a dog lion.
man.
Yeah.
There was like a bit in the original where he's on screen for like 10 seconds and he's like standing up and like kind of shaking in a guard's outfit because he's disguising himself, and they adapt that into this game incredibly. He has a bunch of animations. He fucking moonwalks in it. It's great. It's silly. I just love the ability of a video game, and I don't see this enough in video games in general.
Games being silly.
Games having the pacing to be both silly and serious.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I rarely see that in games or media in general, where like they show the soft sides of the characters, and they're not all gonna hit. You're gonna be annoyed at the mini games. I get it, but like
Outside
it's
of
so
Yakuza, I
rare.
can't think of a franchise that routinely nails it. And
Final Fantasy is the only one that even tries, and they don't always nail it.
Yeah,
I
but
agreed.
It's
Agreed.
just so rare, and like some of my favorite anime are the ones that do that, and they're not great anime. It's just that they have that ability to be silly and be serious, because no one's serious all the time and no one's silly all the time. Like, people are complex, right? And this is one of the only series that actually captures that, and I think that's super cool, and I love to see it in this one.
I pray they do the remix, the same style remake with 8 and at least 10. Because those games would have great moments I would love to see
They won't do it
rehashed.
with 8.
They won't do it with 8.
We're gonna get a remaster of 9 this year, which I'm excited for because 9.
But I want this level of remake, particularly for 10.
That won't happen with any other one.
10 would be
7, I don't
cool.
think. Maybe
10 would be cool.
I think 10 could. 10's the second best.
10's the only one that has a chance.
Actually, 10 might have sold better than 7. I'm not entirely sure, just because it came out later.
Yeah, it's just the amount of cost it takes to make these games is fucking insane.
Yeah. And 7 has a
and,
huge
and I,
legacy.
specifically this one, I don't know that it recouped those costs. So, because a lot of
Yeah,
people held off. It's the middle game in a trilogy, right? So a lot of people
It
are kinda
reviewed
holding off.
substantially worse. That being said, it still got like 80s because the first one reviewed so fucking well.
Well,
but it
it's-
reviewed
it still
substantially
has,
worse.
like, high
It's got
80s.
90s.
This,
Okay,
uh,
okay,
this
alright.
hey, this is my first round draft pick of last
Yeah.
year, and it still was the third highest scoring game of the year, I think.
There you go.
But yeah, while this game is incredibly flawed, I love it in spite of and sometimes because of those flaws. So
Yeah.
why it's my favorite.
Hell yeah! Listen, I'm happy for both of y'all that it
God, it
made it
looks-
this high. I feel so bad because I wanted to love this game and I played the demo and just fucking fell off of it, and I don't know why because I loved the first
Was
remake.
the demo the Cloud Sephiroth's part at the beginning?
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah.
No, it started right as you were going into the town with a boss fight, and I was like, "Fuck this! I don't know what the fuck I'm doing."
Just buy it and play it, dude.
No, it's $70. I won't do that.
Wait for it to be on sale.
Well, I mean, they did a bundle with this one and the first remake when it launched. I imagine they'll do a big bundle when the next one launches too.
Ooh.
So that might be.
I wonder if I could get tied to this franchise.
Ooh,
Because if she'd play it, I'd experience it through her.
it's true. But it's
That'd
really
be
good.
fun.
This game's great.
She might. I'm thinking about getting her to play the God of War remakes, or not remakes, but the new games.
Mhm.
'Cause she might like that after playing Dragon Age, Veilguard.
Yeah, my one advice to anyone who hops into this game: if you start doing open world pieces and they're not jiving with you, just critical path it. You don't need to do the open world stuff. Just critical path it.
Hell yeah.
Pridge, I know I kind of dominated there. Do you have anything?
No,
to add
no,
to
it's
it?
no. Yeah, hey, this was your number one game. Everyone should get to main.
Just stump for it. Yeah.
Yeah, the main style. I mean, yeah, no, this game was great. Combat system is excellent. Looks gorgeous. Again, like the Yakuza comparison. Is
Story
both serious
beefs it at the
and
end.
funny, and it has
Oh.
too many mini games, both to its detriment and credit.
That's actually a great comparison.
Yeah.
Because those the only two franchises out here doing it. Like putting their whole ass on display for better and for worse.
Yeah, this game would have been higher on mine if there weren't just a couple segments that I found to be so ass
That
bad.
Kate's segment's pretty fucking.
And there are a couple other ones too. There are a
Yeah.
couple boss fights and a couple individual things. I'm like, God, I'm having no fun right now.
Mhm.
But the parts where I was having fun, I was having such a goddamn blast.
Hell yeah.
Does
Really quick.
does Zach Ferris say the line? His meme line?
Oh.
Gaga?
Go Gaga.
No, that happened last year. They
Yeah, that
actually
happened in the remake.
re-released that game.
That happened to the remake of Crisis Core. Yeah.
Yeah, which is
Oh, I
insane.
forgot that
to
came
me.
out.
Yeah. I played through that
Before
too.
you reveal 2, which I know what we all know what the 2 and 1 are going to be.
Oh,
Someone like in the chat
um,
said Final Fantasy X has plenty of unused potential for spin-offs. There's the main game. There's FFX2. There's game potential for 10 years ago with Jet. Literally another shout out to my girlfriend moment. Like apart from Dragon Age, the only other game that I know she loves is Final Fantasy X-2, and it's only because she played X-2 and not original 10.
That's
Because she was like,
wild.
because hey folks, my girlfriend's trans, and growing up she was like, girls with cool outfits, I want to play that game, which is awesome to me.
10-2 gets hate and deserves none of it. 10-2's pretty freaking fucking sweet.
Like literally we had a night where we were just sitting on the couch and she was like, let's look through all the different outfit classes of 10-2, and I was like, that's incredible, I love this.
Yeah, we can do a fashion show game just off of that.
Oh,
Yeah, probably.
absolutely we could. No, the outfits are insane for that game.
They're awesome. All right,
Number
Number
prayer
2.
circle. Come on, reveal it.
Balatro. No, this is going to be Balatro.
No,
Astro
come on.
Bot's number
Don't-
1.
No, come on. Shut up.
It's Balatro at number 2.
No!
Yeah. No. Why would you not think that Astro Bot was number 1? It's the least controversial pick.
Because I wanted Balatro to win real bad.
I know.
Well, that was wrong of you.
And to an extent, you're correct. This is my game of the year.
I had
Balatro.
fun with this one as well.
This was my number 2.
Now, let's be clear. I went back and forth countless times on what I liked more, Astro Bot or Balatro. But I settled on Balatro being number 1 because Balatro made me do something that no other game could or probably will ever do, which is kind of care about poker a little bit.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Balatro is a fascinating game that when I first saw it, I went, who cares even a little bit? And then I got a hit of the crack that is this game. And then I have beaten all of the different chips on several decks on my phone. This game is fucking insane. I really don't know what it is about it. The numbers simply get big. It's got RNG to it. Sometimes I want to actually jump on my phone and fist fight the local thunk, the creator of this game, because the RNG fucks me so bad.
This is fucking crazy, but the 2 on the card in this fucking graphic does not look like it's part of it. It looks like it was added in post.
I added it.
Are you
I
joking?
changed it to 2.
Oh, I'm so stupid.
It's the number
You're
2
right.
game.
Because I was gonna say that also looks like it's the font that I use for a lot of our thumbnails, but that's because it is. I'm so mad.
That's a fact.
Did you also
right there.
notice that the ace of club has a smaller club
You
next
put an extra dude next to it.
I wasn't paying attention. God
This game is
Oh, Zach's
fucking
fired.
yeah, that's fair. I deserve to be after that.
What I think it comes down to why Balatro is so special is that it is so simple, but like everything works perfectly down to like the small things that really shouldn't matter. The speed of the game, like the way that it scales and goes faster as your hams and combos get longer.
So satisfying.
The little donkey sound effects are like perfect.
So good.
And like. And the fact that the game kind of like shit talks you a little bit, like there's no story to this game, but there's occasionally a smart ass little joker that pops up and goes "suck to suck, loser," and you're just like "fuck you."
I can't stress enough how during my Christmas break I went home to Ohio and downloaded the game.
Gambling. I get it.
No, I downloaded the game on my dad's iPad, and I was like, "Hey, this is my Christmas gift to you," and I posted it on my Instagram, or I think on the channel's Twitter or something. But it was like there was a point where I was like, where the fuck is my dad? Like during our Christmas like hangout, and he was like in the basement alone on his iPad playing Balatro, and I was like, fuck yeah, I fucking got him.
Every person that I have recommended this game to has then texted me at some point, like I am addicted was the word used every single time.
Yeah. It's so good.
Famously fucking hate roguelikes. I like Balatro.
And you hate deck builders.
The thing
And I
with
hate
Balatro,
card games in general.
Yeah.
The thing with Balatro is it's not really a roguelike. It's not really a poker game.
Yes, it is. You're
It's
lying.
its own. But like, okay, yes, it is
It's
a
a
game
roguelike,
in
it's
which
not
you
a poker
play
game.
you play cards and poker happens. But like, yeah, it's just like I don't know. The rules are all fucky. It's awesome, and something about the fact that this game is just out here being weird is like I love it. I just adore it.
And the developer being like the most humble person in the world, the fact that they said something along the lines of like, I wish I hadn't released this game to the public because it's
Flappy
made
Bird
my life
energy,
more stressful. Yeah. Because they made this game just because they wanted to make this game, and I hey, listen, I love that shit. So fuck yeah.
And now they can live for free for the rest of their life.
That's true.
Yeah,
I mean, when you say something
The
like that, I'm
sales
like,
this game are
okay,
insane.
come on. But like, it's true. This game rules. If
Balatro's
you don't know about
awesome.
Balatro, what are you doing?
Hey, caveat: don't get on your phone unless you're allowed to take long shit breaks at work.
I mean, just get it on Switch or Steam Deck or
No, get on your
something
phone. It's great.
Yeah.
Don't get it on your phone. Get it on your phone.
I literally played this for an entire flight to San Francisco and back.
Shout out to ProZD Sungwon Cho for 100%ing this game, which means that he got every single award for every single Joker, which is an absolutely insane thing to do.
And did all the challenges.
And did all the challenges, which
Yeah.
I've done a lot of, but like
I gotta
not
get
even
back to it.
close. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. Download it on your dad's iPads is what I'm saying.
Give your dad Balatro in 2025.
It's the gift he doesn't know that he needs, but that he needs.
A dad Latro is what they should call it.
Yeah, this game rules. That's all I
Yeah.
got to say.
It's great.
Also, barely missed my top 10, and I fucking hate this type of game usually. So
All right, now
that's how
on to
good it is.
onto the proper winner of game of the year, I
question.
guess.
David, what was the gap between Balatro and what will certainly be Astro Bot for Game of the Year?
Let me put it this way: the gap between all the other games in the top 10, the gap between Balatro and 10 was 2 times smaller, I think, than the gap between Balatro and Astro Bot.
Jesus.
Oh,
There's a
Wow.
25-point gap between Balatro and Astro Bot, and Balatro only got 19 points. So
wow. Oh, because it was my number 1 and Zach's number 2?
Yeah.
Okay, there you go.
Jesus.
yeah, we spoiled
shit.
it. Number 1,
Yeah, no shit.
it's
It had to be
Astro
Astro Bot.
Bot.
Wow, look at that. Look at that nice animation.
animation,
David.
yeah.
Hell
Shout
yeah.
out to PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Like, literally, what else could it be? Like,
yeah, no, this,
like
this
we,
game deserves
we
it.
talked earlier about games being fundamentally perfect. This is a fucking fundamentally perfect video game. This is a fucking all caps video game.
To give my 1 second statement is this is and they said it at the Game Awards. The creators of this game literally thanked Shigeru Miyamoto for creating Mario because it inspired them to make this game. And hey, guess what, folks? They made the best 3D Mario maybe ever.
So
Question mark.
that's the thing that I really like. I don't get people saying like, "Oh, they just made a Mario game." Do you know how many fucking companies, how many people would kill to make a Mario game?
Oh, that's why this is the game of the year, Chris, because it's so impressive that another company made this. And not just did they make a game with incredibly consistent, newly inventive 3D platformer gameplay, it constantly references the entire PlayStation catalog. And in a way that some people have pointed out is maybe, hey, this is just a commercial video game, which I think is somewhat disingenuous.
Couldn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Look,
So's Kingdom Hearts.
I wrote in my notes for this that this game is absolutely a little bit self-relating, but I don't care. I'm having fun.
Yeah,
But
that's
it's got a
relationship
great
was
value.
incredible. Yeah.
You're allowed to. That's
Yeah.
fine.
I'll
Listen,
flip with them. What the hell? Like, who cares?
I wish they went further with it. I wish like if I
Yeah,
pulled
where's
up
Legend of Legaia? Come on, go further, go deeper.
Shut the fuck up. No, I wish it was like Smash Brothers, where when you opened up the I don't know, Astro Bot of whatever the fuck you picked, it's like, this is Kratos. He premiered in God of War 2000.
Oh, the fact that it doesn't have that is like one of the only things I can mark against this game.
I actually think that's bad.
It's so weird. It doesn't tell you where these characters come from because
You have to Google them.
I would have loved to know that.
Exactly.
I can't tell literally any of the Uncharted characters apart.
Yeah, the fact that one of the most negative things I have to say about this game is that the big bad evil guy, which is the alien on the left, is kind of lame. That's one of the most negative things I have to say about this video game. This game fucking rules.
Something that I find fundamentally just beautiful about this game, and I hope it turns out to be true, is that like I loved the idea of like someone playing this with their child, the unlocking like, you know, fucking, I don't know, it's all bad examples in front, like seeing Sly Cooper or something and being like, hey parent, what game is that from? And then you get to introduce the child to this whole fucking generational thing of video games. Like, that's beautiful to me.
It's cool as fuck. This game rules. It feel honestly one of the best feeling games.
Yeah, smooth as butter.
Too. Like, and I don't just mean that in like the things are smooth. I mean that in like they use the DualSense better than in any way I would ever assume the DualSense could be used. Like, you feel everything, and then, like, playing a game that doesn't have that after playing this game, I'm like, something's missing. And it's like, oh, no, Astro Bot just is insane. Like, that's...
Only 2 games have used the DualSense well. It's Astro Bot and Kino Bridge of Spirits, which is a crazy list. Fred, what are you saying?
Oh, I mean, like, this game made me feel like I was playing Super Mario Galaxy 2 for the first time again, and that's about as high compliment as I can give.
It rules.
It is so good. This game, for us on the stream, it was everyone's either 1 or 2. That was it.
Yeah, which undeniably deserves its #1 spot. Like, it's,
yeah, absolutely.
Like, even if I genuinely think I liked Balatro more as like this is an incredibly novel and awesome experience, like this is the objective best game that came out this year. Like, it's perfect.
I don't know if anybody else said this, but like it's the same thing of like it's a like 10 to 12 hour experience, and maybe more if you're going for the 100%. But like,
which I did
too, because I enjoyed it so much. But the whole time I was literally smiling from ear to ear like it was a Mario game. During like I think the last time I was like conscious of like, fuck, I am grinning so hard right now while just playing a game was literally during Mario Odyssey, during the fucking the song level, the let's do
Jump
the
Up
Odyssey.
Superstar.
Yeah, Jump Up. Like, cause like in that moment I was like, God, video games are so good. I love this. And that's also what this game was.
Shout out to every lyric in the game being Astro Bot.
Mm-hmm.
It's fucking awesome. Oh, that no, yeah. In this, it's all Astro Bot. In Astro's Playground, there's like the "I'm your CPU," but no, it's just it's all Astro Bot, the GPU. Yeah, whatever. Also, like, this game is a fucking advertisement for the PlayStation 5.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
You spend the whole game building a PS5.
My one thing I have a question about to all of you is that I personally was surprised about the sales for this game. I thought they would be higher, and maybe that's just me being optimistic, but I think it barely sold more than 2. It didn't break 3 million.
They
broke
did not market this. They didn't market this thing well until everyone was like, this thing is God's gift to humanity, and then they started marketing it.
It broke 3 million, I believe, but like,
but not 4.
Well, they haven't said anything.
Since sorry, Zach. Everything itself 4 million.
This is the game of the year, and it didn't break 10 million. That's fucking crazy, bro.
Hey, it's not a third-person, over-the-shoulder narrative adventure game.
Yeah.
So
I know, but like,
it's over 3 mil as of the end of 2024.
Okay.
Yeah, but like, to your point, Zach, like, I also don't think they spent nearly as much on this game as they did with other games too. So I'm sure PlayStation's doing fine, but yeah,
this cost way less than it cost to make The Last of Us, or God of War. So I'm sure they're so happy that this won Game of the Year at the Game Awards, and of course, it saved Data Team's Game of the Year stream.
And what can matter more than
PlayStation.
Yeah, like I want to play more. Like they've released holiday level and like 5 speedrun levels that I need to go back and play too. Since
there's a racing mini game now.
There's a racing mini game?
Pretty sure, yeah.
Fuck, I gotta go back.
Yeah,
and play
this game rules. If you have the ability to play this game, aka if you have a PlayStation 5 and you haven't played this game, like, what are you doing?
What are you doing
this
with
game?
Your life? Playroom 2. Playroom 2 was one of the best games that came out with, and it was free.
It's free. It comes in your PS5.
It is free. But also, this literally isn't even a $70 game.
True. Yeah.
This is less than you will pay for any other PlayStation first party, and it's better than basically all of them.
Yeah. It's so good.
Play this game.
It's so
Play
good.
This game.
And like it makes I meant to mention earlier too, and Chris was talking about like the kids asking who characters were. Like, I'm a full-grown adult who played all these consoles, and I was still asking who characters are, and I'm like, I want to go play some of their games.
And like I will say, huge points to Team Asobi. They selected a very wide berth of characters. Like they put in some niche ass shit, which I really respect.
Not only did they put in niche ass shit, they put in what felt like a lot of love and TLC to the way that they pull them into the game too.
Yeah, like obviously you're gonna put Nathan Drake, Aloy, and Kratos in there. Those games sell 10 million units a year. But like they put in like Guilty Gear characters and fucking Bit Trip Runner and shit. Like,
are you sure you aren't thinking about Loco Roco?
Yes, Loco Roco.
The level where everybody from the West said, "What the fuck? Why is
what
this
is
in
this
the
game?"
game?"
Patapon, fucking there was a whole Ape Escape gets a level, which is crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I love Ape Escape. So,
oh no, I was throwing for it, but I was like, "Fuck yeah, Ape Escape, let's go."
The Loco Roco getting a whole like boss, like special level where you have to like interact with it in like you're doing motion controls. I was like, all right, maybe Loco Roco didn't need this much.
Probably not. No,
but even like
give it to Parappa or something. Like,
let me do a rhythm game.
The fucking Astro Bot level of Ape Escape is better than any Ape Escape game.
That is unfortunately true.
Undeniably.
Well, because after I played that level, I went and downloaded Ape Escape 1 and played it, and I was like, oh man, this doesn't play like the Astro Bot level plays. It's kind of not good controls. But oh man, this Astro Bot's so good. It's fantastic.
It's a cute, fun game that anyone can enjoy. There's nothing edgy about it. There's nothing serious about it, and I genuinely really appreciate that.
Thank God, a game of the year that isn't woke. No DEI in this one.
Hey, there's no gender in this one.
Yeah. That's true. Never mind. My character's non-binary. This game's woke.
It's the thing where, like, genuinely, for some time, I guess probably since Odyssey came out, and I had to think about 3D platformers. I had not considered platformers like a game of the year worthy category.
I mean, I think the last one was Celeste.
And this really just showed me that I was a fucking idiot. Like platformers can rule, collectathons can fucking rule. Sorry, especially collectathons. Like we have all been so over collectathons since like the N64 effectively. And this game was like, hey motherfuckers, collectathons are pretty cool again. And I was like, you know what? You're spitting facts, Team Asobi.
That goes back to the whole thing of like the highest praise that they made a Mario game, because like countless companies genuinely tried their entire existence and went out of business trying to emulate Mario, and then they come in and they slam dunk it. Yeah,
literally,
it's count like so many. Rare's whole existence is basically that, if you think about it.
Well, post N64 time,
Yes.
Listen. Don't talk shit on fucking the game they're trying to remake right now. What is it? Fucking
Star Fox Adventure?
No.
That's dead.
Fucking what's Perfect Dark? Thank you.
Rare's not working on now? That's why I was confused.
Rare's dead.
They made Sea of Thieves. They're not dead.
Right? They already Sea of Thieves. That's right.
They did make Sea of Thieves, and it's doing well despite what the launch situation was. So,
it does great. I mean, people play that game.
Congratulations to Rare.
Congratulations to Sea of Thieves for Game of the Year. All right, where's Skull and Bones, David?
Where's Skull and Bones? You didn't put it on your list, Chris.
I debated it.
That's the only place it would have gone.
If I put it at number 3, where I was debating putting it, would it have made it on the list? I don't think so.
Yes, it would have tied for 10th.
No, that wasn't worth the
joke. There would have been. Crow Country would have fallen off completely, though.
No, not worth it at all.
If you did a straight replace, if you shoved everything down,
no, it would have been shoved everything down. But that's
okay. Crow Country would have been our. Well, actually, wait. That would have removed the 5-way tie for 10th, so Infinite Nikki would have been 10th.
Oh, damn.
Unicorn Overlord would have been 9th. Crow Country would have been 8th.
So I would have gotten nothing.
Skull and Bones would have gotten 7. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Or 8. Yeah.
All right, whatever. We're going to do this.
Shall we go over people's personal lists?
Individual top 10s?
Yeah.
Yes.
All right. This is just the order I put them in PowerPoint. So here you go, folks. Vic, not here to talk about their top 5, but honestly, Vic's top 5 did pretty well. 80% hit rate.
I mean,
number one
if
with
you only make a top 5, so
To be fair, literally all these games are good.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
And Dawn Trail would have been higher on Vic's list if she had started playing it earlier into last year, but she didn't start playing it until December. So
There we go. Dragon Age, Veilguard, Finn and Nikki, Echoes of Wisdom, Astro Bot, and Dawn Trail. Out the Vic.
Mm-hmm.
I think Chris was next. Chris, I think
Okay.
you actually had the highest hit rate, period.
Yeah, he is 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Everything's on here
90% hit
except for
rate.
Outlaws.
The only thing that wasn't on our top 10 was Star Wars Outlaws.
Wait, Chris. In the Discord, didn't you say that Outlaws was your number 1?
Yeah, that was
lied.
a joke. I thought somebody would comment on the fact that was obviously a lie or a joke, but no one did.
I knew it was a lie, so it wouldn't have been funny if I did it. Otherwise,
So
I
Outlaws started at my number 3 slot, and then I remembered Crow Country and Rise of the Golden Knight. It was like, actually no, sorry, it started at number 3. I remembered Crow Country, it got bumped down, and then we on Monday I moved Golden Idol
you
up
moved
one
it during the stream.
to move Outlaws into 4th, which 5th, which means I probably shouldn't have done that because I think I might have gotten Outlaws on the list if I didn't do that. Real quick, Helldivers 2, great. UFO 50. I have more problems with it than Zach does, but overall, I think it's a great experience. I think it's worth at least fucking around with. Infinite Wealth, so fucking good. Dragon Age, like I said, it's a perfectly polished AAA fantasy game. If you don't like it, I'm sorry. That's like you're like that. This is what a lot of AAA fantasy goes like for the next like decade. So button your fucking dick. Mouthwashing, what an experience. Take responsibility. Like honestly, we talked about it before. But like I think some of the best like piecemeal giving of information I've ever seen. I'm gonna watch the video again for this because it's fucking so goddamn good.
It's so good.
I'm gonna skip Outlaws for a second. Rise of the Golden Idol, play everything by this team. No one's doing it like them. It's so cool. Crow Country, also play everything by this team. SFP Games, they also made Twisted Tower or Tangle Tower.
Hell yes.
These guys
I didn't know that was that group. Okay, cool.
These guys
I can't
kind
wait
of
to play their sequel.
That's
their
the thing
new
about
game.
these guys. They're one of those devs that only make good games.
Yep.
We
We gotta get more of those developers.
Astro Bot and Balatro, we talked about it. Let me just soapbox about Star Wars Outlaws for 3 minutes.
You're the only person that gets to, so sure.
This game is fucking awesome, and there are 3 varieties of people. People that reviewers, specifically reviewers, that hated this game because I played early build and they're way too terminally online, and they went, it's too much like other Ubisoft games. I play 1,000 of them a year. There are people that reviewed it actually like inside. You're on the wrong slide.
I know Raz just fucking pulled my mouse wire from under my desk.
Just revise this. Star Wars Outlaws is so fucking good. The only people that don't like it either are fucking right-wing chuds on the internet, are reviewers who are way too terminally online, or haven't fucking played it. I do not know a single person that I personally know that has played this game and does not love it. It's so fucking good. If you want the experience of a Star Wars game that gives you the power fantasy of being a character in the Star Wars universe, this is the game for you. Genuinely, you're not a fucking Jedi. You're not cutting through 100 million dudes. You are a person that lives in the Star Wars universe during the Empire. Shit is raw. KVS is an awesome protagonist. I think that I forget her name, but the actress that plays her got snubbed at the Game Awards. I think she deserved better. She did a lot with that character, and playing a really interesting, complex kind of loser, but also trying to be cool character, which I think is really nice. Outlaws is awesome. The hate that it gets is completely unjustified. I can't believe they sold more units than Astro Bot.
That is crazy to me. Thank you.
That's the power of Star Wars, dude. That's fucked, right?
I will say, Chris, you did play this after they overhauled the systems that all the reviewers hated.
I know. I get it. Here's the thing. I get all that, but also I've read so many of the reviews because I was flabbergasted at the disparity. This game has a 75 on OpenCritic. It should have at least an 80 or to 85. which I know isn't that much of a difference, but it matters to people like me.
For sure.
And like a lot of them are like a lot of the complaints are saying, "Oh, but this is so similar to Ubisoft's format," which I get that as a complaint as a reviewer. However, you have to grade games on an individual merit. This game is fucking good if you don't think of it as like if you're not thinking about Assassin's Creed and you just like this game, it's fucking awesome. You just can't. Also, it doesn't have towers you climb to unlock chunks of the map, which God bless you for that. I'm so sick of that fucking thing in gaming. And the other thing I was gonna say about reviews is shout out to that one review. I think it might have been GameSpot that said, unfortunately, many of the missions lead to stealth action, gunfights, or space combat. And I'm like, unfortunately, missions lead to gameplay. You fucking asshole! What are you talking? It's Star Wars.
I hate when my video games lead to gameplay.
It's like genuinely one of the worst reviews I've ever seen in my entire life. What were they thinking?
I want my
In order
games
to beat
play
the game,
themselves.
I have to play the game. That sucks.
Oh, and real quick, Sabak, the card game is, which is like a card game in Star Wars in general. Holy fuck, it's so good! Please make a standalone version of this for phones. Oh my, I can play it for genuinely 30 hours.
Oh, yeah. This is
So
on my
good.
list of like there isn't really any new games coming out till the end of January with Citizen Sleepers, so I might.
If
come
you
back and
pick
play
this up for like $40 on a sale, you'll think it's like the greatest thing ever made. Would I pay $70 for it again? Yes, but I shouldn't.
Okay. All right. If I can get it for 20, I'll pay it. I'll buy it.
That's crazy. 20 is
Listen,
insane. Games are
If
going
it's
sale
not
anymore.
$70, it's $20. That's my rule.
That's a weird rule.
Terrible rule. How did my
But Zach, you
Astro Bot
paid
head?
$50 for Astro Bot.
Yeah, because Astro Bot was never $70. I
Oh.
said if it's not 70, it's 20.
That's
Yeah,
not what
it's-
50 is.
Yeah, Zach, you're not making sense.
No, but if it's never been listed for $70, then I'll pay, an intermediary price. But if
Yes,
it's
Valence,
70,
there is a hot robot.
Oh yeah.
Okay, Zach's drunk. Let's move on.
Yeah. He's high on his
I know
power.
everyone saw Pridge's list already, but Pridge, you're.
Yeah, okay.
That's getting cut.
All right, Rise of the Golden Idol,
Yep.
fun puzzle game. Didn't hit me as much as the first, but still a really fun puzzle game.
good.
We talked about Thousand Times Resist, amazing. Talked about FF7, amazing. Talked about Metaphor, amazing. Talked about Astro Bot, pure fun. Talked about Unicorn. I love tactics games. Things we haven't talked about. Persona 3 Reload. I had never played Persona 3. I know there's a lot of talk about whether this is whether this is the best version, what it was missing, what it was included, yada yada yada. Still fun, still
Yeah.
Persona game, still enjoyable. Tartarus is dog ass.
Yeah,
I don't
there it
want
is.
to. I'm a
What
single
else is
tower
new?
for an entire game. I don't like the ending, but still really fun Persona game. Can't complain about that.
Great remake.
Lorelei and the Laser Eyes.
Let's go.
It didn't fit.
Lorelei and the Laser, great album title.
I know, right? Hey, it's the only game on this list I didn't finish.
Okay, I don't feel so bad then.
But it still is on this list because it's a really, really awesome puzzle game.
This should have been in my top 10. I love this puzzle game, but
This was
could
a
you
really,
talk
really
about
good
it?
puzzle game. Cool, surreal, weird environment. It's one of those games that's about like crazy artists being crazy and the
Yep.
things that crazy artists will do to create, which I always think is a fun concept.
Mhm.
Again, the kind of game where like you can sit there, stare at a puzzle for like 4 hours, think that you're like, you sit there, you stare at this puzzle, you get to a point where you're surprised you passed the second grade because you feel like the dumbest human being in the world, and then you go to like a sandwich and you come back, you're like, oh wait, no, never mind, this is the easiest puzzle ever. I figured it out, and then you
Yeah.
feel like you just feel like you just got your PhD thesis.
Yeah.
It's a great feeling. You literally go from like, they shouldn't have let me out of kindergarten to, oh, I could be a doctor. This shit's easy. Really good stuff. Little Guardsman, funniest game this year. This game was hilarious.
Yes.
We
Pridge.
played this.
There's one game that was funnier, but yeah.
Oh,
This
the
was
British one.
this was
Yeah.
my number 10. This is my number 10. So
we'll get
we
there.
played this on stream. Very cute, very funny game, very cute game. Honestly, deeper gameplay than I would have expected. It's Papers, Please, but fantasy. But again,
but it's funny as
game is
fuck.
so goddamn funny. Every joke lands.
Yeah, it's interesting how it plays with the format of Papers, Please, though, because like it gives you like rules and stuff. Like I remember there was like a thing about like a vampire couldn't do a thing or something like that, or elves couldn't lie or some shit like that.
Yeah,
and like you guys deduced it. Like there's it's fun
trolls
shit.
and
So many silly, stupid jokes, and it's just so funny the entire time.
As Chris pointed out, if this sounds interesting at all to you, we do have a full Let's Play on the channel. Go check it out.
Which
it's so good. And
watched the entirety of, and like genuinely like had to like stop the video multiple times because I was laughing so hard at the bits.
They're so good. It's so good. And the developers are really nice people. I will say. I've talked to them several times. They're very nice.
And then final new entrance, a game that no one played.
No.
This
Dungeons
has been
of Hinterberg.
Pridge, this has been downloaded on my Xbox for like 5 months, and I just haven't played it.
Same, except it's this computer, but yeah.
Give it a try. It's very fun in that it's like little bite-sized pieces of like social sim elements and little environmental puzzles and short action sequences. It's got little bite-sized pieces of other genres that none of which on their own are amazing, but they just combine together for honestly just a really fun, not super long experience. It's a good game to hack and slash enjoy. It's got this Austrian countryside mythology aesthetic that's really pleasant. It's got some good messages and funny characters. It's honestly just a really chill game. And again, a game I probably would not have touched if it wasn't on Game Pass, but it was. I grabbed it, and once I started playing it, I honestly like breezed through it in like a couple weeks. I was having a blast with it. Really quality game.
Awesome.
Yeah, the visuals are what made me download originally.
It looks so cool.
It just looks so neat. Yeah.
I Googled it while you were talking about it, and I was like, this looks like what was the Xbox exclusive from last year? The rhythm one.
Hi-Fi Rush. Yeah,
Hi-Fi Rush. It looks like Hi-Fi Rush, but more fantasy, and I fucking love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're a Game Pass person, I highly recommend giving it a couple hours. You'll get a pretty good feel for it pretty quickly.
Hell yeah.
My top 10's next. Let's see.
Thank goodness, that's what it's called.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Oh, I forgot about Thank Goodness You're Here. No, that should have been on my list.
Thank Goodness You're Here was the funniest game of the year for me. I think we played the whole thing on stream, didn't we?
We did in one stream.
We played Zach and I together.
That video
played the whole
has
thing.
over 30,000 views. That video is incredibly well.
Yeah, because it's a full LP of a game that people want to listen to the jokes of and not buy.
Yeah.
So I sat in that entire stream while Zach played through the whole thing, and then I got off the stream and that weekend played through the entire thing myself because I wanted to be the one slapping things and checking stuff out. That game fucking rules. It's so funny.
It's so
Thank Goodness
good.
You're Here is great. 1,000 Times Resist was on number 9. Might be higher, but I didn't finish it yet, so I didn't feel good putting it higher than 9.
Yeah, that's fair.
But what I have played so far, I absolutely fucking love. The game's so good. 8. My 8 was Animal Well. Animal Well is great. It's a crime that it didn't make our top 10, but it's only so much of a crime because it's only my 8 too. But like, it's such
I can't believe that.
It's such a good Metroidvania in that like there's no combat. It's all puzzle. It's a Puzzlevania.
It's the same as Outer Wilds, where it's a knowledgevania.
Yeah.
Or a Metroid Brainia.
Oh, I like that. I like Metroid Brainia. That's good.
Yeah.
I prefer that one. Such a clever thing. Also, the game on a technical level blows my mind because it's only like 20 megabytes and it's fucking gorgeous.
It's made by one person. It's beautiful. It's so good.
The fact that it's made by one person is mind-boggling.
Billy Basco is a legend. What a goat.
Absolute fucking legend. Hate the chase sequences. There's 2 of them. They can eat my ass, but the rest of the game is fucking fantastic.
Fuck you.
7, Celeste 64.
Hell yeah. I'm glad you put this on here.
It was on there before you posted like the reminder of games that came out. Like I already had it on my list. It was locked in.
No, it's great.
64.
People should remember that.
Oh, what's the full name? I gotta look at the something of the mountain.
I will say in this moment we also do have a full Let's Play of it on our channel. So
fragments of the mountain. So 64.
Actually, not a full let's play, but we had like a 3-hour let's play of it on our channel.
We 100%ed it. We did the full thing.
Did we really? Okay,
Yeah.
well, shit.
It's short because it was like
channel.
a game jam game. It wasn't even like they spent like a week or two on it and made a 3-hour.
I mean, it's a free game to play, so if you're excited for a
free
3D Celeste, you can play for free right now.
So fucking good. So fucking good. Free from the Celeste devs themselves. 3D platformer. It's in the like N64/PS1 art style. It's Celeste. It absolutely fucking rules.
I'm glad you said PS1. This game is called Celeste 64. It looks like a PS1 game and not an N64 game, and that really annoys me.
I mean, like, some of the levels look more N64-ish and some look more PS1-ish.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It doesn't have the most consistent visual style because they made it in like 2 weeks.
That'll happen.
But it's absolutely fucking. They could have released this for $20 on Steam, even though they did it in like 2 weeks, and I would have absolutely eaten that shit up. It's so fucking good. And then Rise of the Golden Idol, Metaphor, Helldivers 2. I think we talked about everything else. So.
Oh, you did Helldivers 2 at 4. That's crazy.
I fucking loved Helldivers 2. It was so fun.
I loved it, but yeah.
So fucking fun.
I was gonna say I needed more of a story, but then Balatro my number one. So what am I talking about?
It is a fun generator. It's so fucking good. I really like it. No, I think we talked about it a bit during Metaphor, but I'm a bit lower on Metaphor than like Bridge was.
Oh, yeah.
I think I'll end pretty high on it because I liked what I played, but I haven't played enough.
Yeah, it was still great. I just felt like it was lesser than a lot of the Personas, but. All right, and Zach.
Oh shit.
Indica.
Yes, I'm so sad because I think everything else has been talked about. I mean, Animal Well, I should give it more flowers than I think David did. It's so good.
It is.
Animal Well is this year's Tunic, which if you remember last year, Tunic was my number 2. Tunic was like the indie game that has like a mystery element that you kind of have to like be working online to solve the ARG of, which is extremely my shit. Which, to be fair, UFO 50 won that in my heart this year.
Exactly.
Which is why
That's why it's in 5th place.
But Animal Well is so good. We played it at PAX East earlier this year. Or earlier 2024 before it came out. It's a fucking banger. The fact that it's made by one person is incredible. But to talk about Indica, to give Indica its flowers, hey folks, if you've ever felt Christian and or Catholic, specifically guilt, good Lord, what a video game Indica is. And the thing about Indica that blows my mind is that most of it is done in this like super realistic 3D style that makes it feel like it's an extremely modern video game. And to be fair, I mean, it is. It came out in 2024, but like, it makes it feel like it's a fucking Grand Theft Auto of being Catholic. And to be fair, it is about like Eastern Orthodox specifically.
That's the best thing you've ever fucking said.
That's not true. I've said Rock Lee was our generation's 9/11, but
That's
like,
fair.
But like, man, it's such an incredible video game. We do have a full 2-part Let's Play on our channel, so if you would like to check it out, go there. But like, God, this game
on that one too, but it's very good.
This game is so good. I'm actually heartbroken that David didn't even put it in his top 10. I understand why, because this is a very difficult year to break into.
My top 10 before I pruned it was 23 games long.
Jesus, I mean, mine was about the same. I mean, if we're allowed to give recommendations, I can, but I
want to ask about like near misses after this, but finish this.
Sure. Yeah, then I'll wait. Indica's incredible. It has a lot to say about faith, and I think that is commendable in a culture of games where we don't like, if people talk about religion, it's usually Jesus Christ simulator, and it's like, that's not what I
or it's a Tales
hear.
Game where the religious people are always the bad guys.
Yes, or it's a JRPG where it's like, or it's a JRPG where it's like, oh well, religion is bad,
the church is evil. kill
Yeah.
God, go to France.
Apart from that, I actually think every other game's been covered well enough, so I don't feel like I need to talk about them.
Anyone have any honorable mentions they'd like to?
Yeah, I was gonna ask,
Oh.
like, what are the ones that you really struggled to take off your top 10 list? Like ones that like almost made it on. I only have two.
I have two that I'd mention.
Good.
Neva.
Yeah, that was one of mine.
I really want to play it. I'm very excited to play it, actually.
Oh, I'm surprised that was on yours, Pridge, because I feel like you didn't love it after the Let's Play we did.
Well, that's why I didn't make the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally like a step behind. It's actually 11 on my list.
Okay.
No, I did finish it. I mean, it's a beautiful game, and I'm glad I went back and finished this because I kept not being able to finish Gray. So I'm glad I did finish this one. And I mean, it's simple and straightforward, but you're there for the beauty of the minimalist storytelling and obviously the gorgeous watercolor aesthetic, and they know what they're doing on that.
Hell yeah.
And then Steam World Heist 2.
Honestly, that was on my honorable mentions. It's so good.
Fun game. Oh, I also had Chain Together on my honorable mention because that game is hilarious.
Yeah, I had it as like a fun honorable mention, like not a game that I would say like is gonna make the list, but like it was a blast. It was awesome.
Content warning for me. I put that on there.
Like,
it was a fun game. Not gonna make my list, but it was.
Go watch our Let's Plays of both of those games. They're criminally underrated, and they're really funny. Carl did a great job on both those edits. That's all I would say about that.
Yeah. Zach, any honorable mentions?
Yeah. One that I think will maybe be on David's honorable mentions, Kunitsugami Path of the Goddess.
Mine,
Played the first 2 hours of it, fell off of it.
Okay, well then you've kind of got most of it.
I liked what I did, but I was like, I'm not gonna get too deep into this.
Unfortunately, our Let's Play of it on the channel made it look very bad because the game has an issue with being, or at the very least at launch, had an issue with sharing over Discord, which is what caused the problems with it. But man, oh man, it was such a good game. For the most part, if you like, goodness, what are they called? Pikmin style games. It literally is like a what if
it's
Pikmin
an action game.
It's what if Pikmin, but tower defense.
Yeah,
for the most part. But also in between those Pikmin levels, it's like you can level up your villages and get more resources, and that will let you get better Pikmin. It's just very good. There are parts of the game that David and I both were like, hey, this part of the game sucks.
Real bad, yeah.
This boss in particular is garbage, or like, hey, it kind of just becomes like, let me beat this boss, like the first boss of the game that you can beat in like under a minute after a certain point, because it will let you effectively like refresh the day, which means your all of your like villager missions recomplete. So like you can basically like boost all of your like day-to-day stuff because you're just like, wow, this is the fastest way to do it. But honestly, overall, this game fucking ruled, and I would love to see Capcom or literally anybody else make more games like this. This was the perfect.
It was a great PS2/PS3 game in 2024. It was fun.
Yes.
And I mean that
like fully unironically.
Yeah. That's a great.
So good. And the other, I had Rise of the Golden Idol Metaphor on my honorable mentions, but I also had The Operator. We have a full Let's Play of that on our
mine as
well. Such a good like mystery,
super cool
game.
concept.
Super cool concept.
I'm thrilled for whatever that team does next.
Exactly. I can't wait to see what their next game is. My secret like oh ho ho moment is that, hey, we had a developer reach out and was like, hey, we have a game that's very similar to The Operator, and we'd love to see you play it on your channel. I haven't talked about it to anybody else, so there's a chance it doesn't happen at all. But it looks cool. I would love to see more mystery games like this. So yeah, this was great. 10 out of 10. Go play this. It's 3 hours at most. So fucking awesome, perfect mystery game to play by yourself. or with friends. I actually think it's better with friends. I think most mystery games are better with friends. So take for what it's worth.
Honorable mentions for me. The Operator, just missed it. Basically, that was like my number 11. Super cool game. I don't know what's keeping it off my list, but like something I wanted a little more from it. I definitely like it though. Highly recommend our Let's Play of it. I feel like we had good pacing of discovering all of the.
I wouldn't be mad at you for not putting Operator in your top 10. I also didn't put it in mine. So.
Yeah. Cataclysmo. I don't know if anyone else has touched this.
It was on my wish list for Steam, but I didn't actually get it.
So this is the new game by the Moonlighter devs, aka the people who made Moonlighter. Made hold on,
the Moonlighter devs, aka
I was getting
the people
there.
who made Moonlighter,
who made Moonlighter, the Mage Seeker, which is the Silas League of Legends game. And then this, like I said before, this is one of those devs that only make good games. They only make awesome shit. Cataclysm was really cool. If it wasn't early access, it definitely would have made this list. If it was like, when it's fully out, I'll probably put it on whatever year's list that is. Assumingly this year. It is a progressive tower defense simulator in which you're like building up your basically the map. You basically kind of like shape the path of the map in between each round. You gather resources to build your shit during the daytime. Nighttime monsters come. You play as a character who has like the power to do this. Basically, the world of this is very interesting. It's like there are like 3 like places that exist in the world, and the rest is uninhabitably dangerous kind of thing. And like you're trying to like build safe havens effectively. Really cool game. Highly recommend at least like checking it out. Like if it seems like your kind of thing, you'll probably like it just by like sight unseen. And then it was never gonna make the list because it's a gacha game, but Zenless Zone Zero ZZZ. I've been playing.
I didn't even know you
recently.
played this. Yeah.
So I got into it pretty recently, and I put now quite a bit of hours into it. This is the first Hoyoverse game I can genuinely say I enjoy. I like it. This game is stylish as a motherfucker.
Yeah,
it's so slick, and the aesthetic is awesome. And it's basically Devil May Cry. So if that, and it's all mission based. It's not an open world like Genshin or.
Is it? Like I thought it was more turn based.
No, you're thinking of Honkai Star Rail, which is the turn-based one. This one is a spectacle fighter. It's all about like sweet timing and dodges and combos and like switching your dudes in and out at the right time. And like like keeping dudes bouncing off the ground for 30 seconds, and then just like if that's your kind of aesthetic, you'll love this game. Also, this might be the horniest video game I've ever seen in my entire life. It's real
horny.
That's a bold statement.
Crazy. The outfits these characters wear are buck fucking wild.
Listen, I get MiHoYo verses are crazy.
Literally, the first character they give you has a neon green whale tail.
Jesus Christ!
Yeah. ZZZ Balatro has a hot robot. ZZZ has a hot everything.
Holy shit!
It's true. Yeah.
Sorry, David. Did you not have a graphic for Chris's list?
No, I took the list down because we.
That was my that was honorable mentions.
Your honorable mentions.
Oh, okay.
I don't have the honorable mentions.
Zach's sleepy.
Sorry.
Oh, you're good.
No. I was just I thought for some reason in my head you pulled up other people's.
The only one I showed was Star Wars Outlaws.
Yeah, I just moved it because
everything else made the list because my taste is amazing. Hey. I did tell David that I reserved the right to, if anyone else puts saving throw anywhere on their top 10 as a gag, I get to put it at number 1 for mine to make sure it makes the list.
Unfortunately, it didn't happen though.
Damn.
Respectfully to you, I wouldn't put a D&D campaign on in my number 1.
I did last year. I put it at number 1.
Yeah, well, you also put a bunch of Smurfs games on your list.
I put one Smurfs game on there.
You put one Smurf game on it, whatever else you forget it.
And it made sure that whatever game Zach wanted to make on the list didn't make it off because it got averaged down.
I remember that. I was very mad about that.
It did. Trying to think what on mine did I have any that we didn't call out yet. Things that were close but didn't make it for me: Infinite Wealth, Low Guardsman, Mouthwashing, Neva, Kunitsugami. Oh, I Am Your Beast from Strange Scaffold.
It's
like a speedrunning FPS
Yes.
Similar to Neon White, but without the weeb shit that some people
it
like, some don't.
Looks so good.
Yeah, it played super smooth.
It looks like a Neon White for those that enjoyed Neon White.
That is what I just said, yeah.
Yep, it is exactly what he just said.
Sorry.
But
Wasn't
yeah.
paying attention to half
I
of that
typed in
sentence.
"I am your yeast" by accident.
That's awesome. That's a bread making game.
But this I Am Your Beast, super fun if you like speedrunning and like trying to just do a level over and over to get like S rank by making stuff go faster. It's a great game for that. I had a good time with it, not quite to the level of production I felt that like Neon White had and like level design that they had, but still a super fun time. And
Donkey just put out a video if you care about video game Donkey, so I would say look that up. It's very good, actually. It made me want to go back and play the game. So
yeah, and solid like small contained story and like voice acting and stuff too. So it was a good time. And then the only other one for me that other people didn't talk about was this year's WoW expansion, The War Within. Played through the whole thing. Had a really good time with it. Haven't played WoW since Battle for Azeroth, I think, really. And it's been free for me for a number of years, and I still haven't played it. So
you fucker.
So that should tell you that like I did genuinely like it and like played through it. Played the whole campaign. I thought it was very cool. Some really interesting stuff with MMO zones. Not the whole expansion. Most of the expansion takes place like in these underground zones. You're like inside the planet. And there's one that has like this crystal that has phase changes throughout the day at kind like pseudo random intervals. I don't know exactly what the intervals are, but they're not like consistent, that change like enemies on the map and stuff like that, which MMOs don't usually do that because it's pretty taxing. And it looks fucking stunningly beautiful, that zone too, which for WoW that's been around for 20 years. Saying a zone looks fucking beautiful is pretty impressive for where their art style is. But like, yeah, I had a really good time with that expansion. Didn't do the raids or anything, just like the leveling and dungeons and delves and all this stuff. They added a bunch of cool stuff. The solo experience, because I don't even have a guild anymore. I logged back in and my guild was gone, so I was like, oh, okay, I guess I'm just gonna solo this stuff. And the solo experience was super fun. I had a great time with it. So
Nice.
And they had a good representative character, and I was very impressed by the depth that they had. They have like there's this paladin who is missing an arm, and in place of the arm, she has like a special thing where it just like puts a shield in her arm socket.
That's sick.
It is sick
That's
as
cool,
fuck.
yeah.
And she's
That's
a very cool,
coded.
very cool, complex character, which again, not a thing you get in a lot of MMOs. I think really only WoW and FF14 are doing that shit nowadays. So very, very good time.
That does remind me. Shout out to the RuneScape expansion of Varlamore. Some of the best writing they've ever had. One question I had for everyone: did anyone play Hades 2 this year?
I didn't. I'm waiting for 1.0.
Okay, I was curious if we're all the same. Great.
Yeah.
That thing's gonna clean the fuck up this year. I'm betting. When
I
they
know.
finish it.
I know Wes has played a substantial amount of it, but he is also in the same boat of like, yeah, I'm gonna stop playing. Like he played over 10 hours, but he was like, I'm gonna wait until it's done.
I played Hades 1 by like big release, and I beat all the content every single big release, and I think that was a bad way to play Hades 1.
100%. I regret playing too much of the game before 1.0 of Hades 1, and I'm not making that mistake again.
And I've heard people talk about Hades 2 and some of the stuff they added, and I'm very excited for it. But like, I'm
pumped.
Every time I see like gifs or like I see TikToks about it, I'm like, fuck.
Well, I'm trying to avoid most of that, but like for some of the Game of the Year discussions on other podcasts, I heard people talk about it, and I was like, fuck, that does sound cool, but I gotta wait. I gotta wait.
Yeah. I mean, that's assuming it's coming out this year. Who knows?
I think they'll finish it
I'd
this
be
year.
shocked if it did.
They had a lot of time.
Yeah.
In this pre 1.0 period,
I think so. I mean, honestly, apart from Silk Song, I think it's the only game that could come out in the fall and compete with GTA. So
Yeah. Well, I also don't think it'll be $60. So.
Oh, I mean, no, it won't be.
Yeah, so that'll help a lot. And the fact that it's on the Nintendo Switch and fucking GTA ain't.
I mean, I already bought Hades 2 because I know I'm gonna play it when it comes out.
Yeah.
I just didn't. I just haven't played it.
If you're going to buy it, buy it before it comes out because it is for some reason cheaper. I don't know how that makes sense.
Because you're helping to fund the game before it's done. You're putting up
They're
the money.
super giant. They don't need the money.
Everybody needs money, Chris.
That's true.
But I don't have any money.
I don't have any money.
Then why the fuck do you order a roguelike?
Why the fuck do you help the game then?
Folks.
Hell yeah. Is there's no other games, right? Or no other lists?
Honestly, I didn't feel like a fuckload came out this year.
No, no rogue list from Rob or Jason this year.
Okay.
I felt like indie kind of dominated the year for me. I didn't feel like a ton that came out that I cared about in the AAA space.
I mean, did David pull up our top 10 list again? I feel like, I mean, just by nature of the beast, AAA did dominate it, but...
I mean, it won Astro Bot, it won Veilguard.
Oh, you don't have a proper list for top 10 with the ties, right?
Oh, like in this form, no. I have a spreadsheet.
No.
But I don't have
Like,
a PowerPoint. I should have done that.
Okay, all three of those are AAA except for UFO 50. So that counts.
And Helldivers 2 was sort of AAA.
Yeah.
Double A.
Nikki.
They were funded by AAA.
AAA,
so
Unicorn Overlords, Vanillaware, and Sega.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
We got Mouthwashing and Crow Country. Neither of those.
Both of those are indie.
Indie as
Rise
fuck.
of the Golden Idol.
You don't get much more
Indie.
indie than
Those
Mouthwashing.
are very AAA.
Yes.
Indie as fuck.
Yeah.
And then AAA, indie.
AAA.
Yeah,
Pretty mixed, actually.
About pretty good split,
Yeah,
which
Yeah.
I expected, to be honest.
It's a good split.
Hell yeah. I'm proud of us. This is a good list of video games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Chat,
the games are good.
If you're looking for a list of games to play for the next few months until you get inundated with a shit ton of games and
Don't start with mouthwashing. If you played none of these games, start with something else and then get to mouthwashing.
Unless you want to hate people. Then
If you played none of these games, mouthwashing should not be the first one you play.
I would say start with mouthwashing because you'll finish it in an hour and a half and then play another game, then play Astro Bot, which will make you feel happy.
Which will restore the joy to the world for you.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, you know what? Humanity is okay. They made Astro Bot. That's a pretty good
Counterpoint,
game.
Zach. Astro Bot begins with a shipwreck.
It's not.
does.
It's
It
not
starts the same as
nearly the
mouthwashing.
same. Yeah, somebody give me a mouthwashing Astro Bot crossover where Astro Bot did
No!
unthinkable
Don't do
things.
this to me!
Astro Bot Jimmy did unthinkable things to Astro Bot Anya. Spoilers
No!
alert for mouthwashing.
No, I hate
Alright,
that.
end
Hate
the stream.
that. Hate that so much.
Don't actually give me that. Folks, you're all the best. Have a great night. We'll see you whenever you see us next time.
Bye.
Bye-bye.